Welcome to the DorkLair collecting live stream. Larry is not here today. He's kind of MIA. He may show up, he may not, but we have a couple people here that are going to fill in for Larry tonight. First of all, we have Curtis, as
Hello,
I like
everybody.
to call him, Kurt Aikman in the house.
I am here.
Dallas Ram.
Okay.
And then we also have Trevor Williams. What is going on, Trevor?
Takes at least two people to take Larry's spot.
Yes, for sure.
Big shoes.
That's right.
And then we also have, as teased in the thumbnail and the description, we have James from Fox Forge Toys in the house.
Hello.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing good. And so we are going to talk a little bit about the Galactic Valor. Again, I kind of like fumbled through it 2 weeks ago, talked a little bit about it, but James can really clarify things. You're in the final stretch of it, so like really try to pump people up. I hope that video, I mean, that's a fantastic intro. That Sir Dork did that, is that right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. But before we get into all that stuff, let's check in with the comments first. So we've got Steve Wegling, we've got D. Blake, we've got Thomas, we've got Slink, Wholesome Warlock, Steve O. Begg. Let's see who else we got. Art G, Jacob Forna, Mr. X, Texas, Game Quest, 5 Bunks Bruh Archives. This line needs to be funded. Yes. I think it will. Michael Woods, KJ Smith, Carver Customs, Mike Carter, Stygian 360. Who else we got here? Hey, Trevor's in the house. David Williams.
What's up, David?
He's been quietly working on a little side project for me that we're gonna reveal it's getting close, I think. We're gonna be revealing something really neat very soon. Cyber Rat, Hedgehog, Rob V, King Castle, the first 58. Got a couple names here that I don't recognize. Let's see, Tanya and Kevin, back to back, both in the house right here. And then we have Hank Shaw, TJ Williams, Rick Emmert, Kirby, John, Blake, and Dave was the first commenter at 6:05 p.m.
Would that project be a King Noglin full back tattoo at all, by any chance, Bill?
That's already done. I've had that for years.
Nice.
You've never seen me with my shirt off, you know?
No.
Nobody's ever asked, so I just haven't revealed it. That'd be a weird color. Gold has got to be a weird tattoo color, right? Like,
yeah, you're gonna have to fake that with the like the metallic look with the gradiated different shades of metal to fake that. I'm sure you can do it. It's a talent.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good the metal flakes would be under your skin. So
right, real metal. You know how they put like real metal flakes in paint that get that under your skin?
You used to drink Goldschlager, right? So it goes into your body.
There you go.
Gold.
Skin,
that's
right?
true. Gold is something you can consume,
digestible,
right? Curtis, recent pickups?
Well, I was just messing around with Lee J. First time I've actually opened him. So, yeah, I'm just kind of messing around. He's got tons of options, and I mean, you guys have seen this figure before, but I really do love the just little splashes of color, like the little red on the torso and the red on the pouches on the belt and stuff. Just gives it a little extra, and the fact that he came with an extra set of arms and legs is man, that's just customizing gold. So, no pun intended. So I've got that in front of me, and I've shown this off on our show, but I got the Chocolate Angel.
I got mine the other day too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Box, but
it's getting me more excited about the Biblical Adventures. The articulation on those figures is amazing. The soft goods are great. And then for this little gimmick that he did with the Easter thing, like he really nailed that chocolate color. Like I've got any of those scratches and everything. I've got the shield, which is like a rounded, like Templar looking shield almost.
Yeah,
and
it looks like
it's
an egg.
it's so like it'll sit in front of me on the desk. It looks like one of those Reese's eggs that they do.
Yeah.
And like I keep trying to grab it like to eat it, and I'm like, oh wait,
right. Bite a little edge off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like just the look of this, and then like with the sticker, like I know with this, you know, it's a scratch and stiff Snicker. It doesn't really smell like chocolate, like it does, but it doesn't. But like it tricks your mind into thinking this smells like chocolate, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
it would have been cool if he could have embedded it with that. That fake chocolate smell is gross, but like it would have been kind of cool.
And then just
this one, I should show people.
Yeah,
So,
just how it came to in the like the foil wrapping and stuff was great presentation.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
How about you, Trevor? Recent pickups?
Got Ottoman and
What is
Master in. These are the Samurai Force, formerly now Rage toys, but also something else. It's not Rage. It's something else now. I don't know. But it was Fury toys, but it was too close to Fury toys, so they changed it to Rage, and now they're going to be something else. I don't know. Those are great.
That one, that Autumn is like the turtle, not turtle.
Yeah, it's one of the turtles, not turtles. Yeah. But what I've heard, I haven't really opened it and played with it, but I heard it's better than the summer one, articulation wise, and there's rumors that they're going to re-release the summer one with new articulation, which is cool. I got more third-party non-licensed stuff. Old Housekeeper.
Oh, you should wait. Let us guess. Old house. Who's old? Oh, is it Alfred?
It's Alfred.
Nice.
It's 89 Alfred.
I wouldn't.
Right.
I actually wouldn't have guessed it.
And of course I got not old Logan here too, which is really nice from Susu Toys.
That duster looks great.
The duster's the clothing is incredible, man. I ordered this like it took 2 years for that to come out, and there was a point I was like, I'm just gonna like turn around and sell that thing. I don't even want to take it out, and now I took it out and I'm like, I like this thing, man. Keep it. We'll find a place for it.
Man, things are going good for Trevor. I don't have that 1/6 money, and I definitely don't have 1/6 Alfred money. Like that's you have to be seriously into 1/6 to get Alfred.
Alfred was fairly cheap because third party's fairly cheap. The thing that wasn't is upstairs, which is in a giant box, which is the Jazz Inc. 22 Batmobile.
Oh wow!
Which I have no room for whatsoever. But I just didn't want to. I didn't want to miss it. I love that movie. It's like my second favorite Batman movie. So had to get it.
Which Batmobile is it? The 89
the 22,
Batmobile?
The new one, the Batman.
Oh,
yeah.
2022. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
19, not 1922.
Oh, I thought it was like 22 inches, or I didn't know what 22 was.
Yeah, 2022. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that is I do like that movie. I need a figure. I don't have I'm probably gonna get the Mezco at some point when that. I don't think it's out yet, but like I'll probably get.
Man, that's taken forever too. That's got to be pushing 89 status pretty soon, man, because that was a long time ago.
It's been a while.
I remember. Yeah.
James, how about you? What any pickups? What's going on with you?
I just recently got a clone Commander Fox from Hot Toys. So
nice.
That was
nice.
Yeah, it's a nice figure. And then
he has the red accents. Is that? Fox?
Yeah, like a maroony red color.
Right.
In its phase 1 armor. And then I just got in the McFarlane Toys. I love the Warhammer license, so I just got in like the Ultramarines Terminator in the Terminator power armor. So that one's it has like 3 plastics on it, given and it's like the size of it. So yeah, it's a cool, interesting figure, that one.
Big thank you to Joe as usual with the 10 memberships, and it looks like Rafael Perez is a new member, and we've got a little notification here that Cloud has been a member for 10 months, which I think that puts it right at the beginning
Wow.
We're approaching a year of memberships, I think, at this point. It was like last summer-ish, if I remember correctly. But nice.
I like
Thanks.
Cloud's profile image with the fox.
Yeah, it's nice. And shout out to all the members, all the super chatters, everybody who has contributed. And we are going to do a giveaway today. We do have 2 more of the pins. I'll do them separate. So the this one over here, so the Aetheron pin and the Necronominus pin, those will each go out to a different winner, or maybe the same winner. I feel like when it's, you know, they're tied together like this, I feel like that's a situation where it's okay if the miracle happens and the same person wins both. As for my pickups, so I've actually had these for a little while, but I haven't messed around with them too much yet. But I did get the Mezco turtles, and they are fantastic. And I picked up this little Spitboards, like highly detailed, very realistic little skateboard to go with Michelangelo. But I mean, just like the pizza even just looks like delicious and real, and these things are these are great. But I haven't had a ton of opportunity to really like dive into this set yet. But I had to grab a skateboard for Mikey.
And they sell those skateboards separately. It doesn't come with another figure or something.
No, so this skateboard I bought on Amazon, like you know, like Deck Tech skateboards. And like fingerboard, it's a fingerboard, right? Like it's one of those. Like it's just a whole brand unto itself. It was
perfect
expensive.
Scale.
It was $20, but it's like it's real wood. The trucks are wheel. It comes with little tools. It's got bearings. Like it's wild how detailed this little skateboard is. I mean, it is like you can see the wood grain when you get in close.
Oh, wow.
Like
that's nice.
That's nuts.
It's pretty sweet. I think I'll probably throw a few like mini stickers, like maybe from the maybe from like, you know how the Mezco, some of
pink
those
skulls.
figures come with little, the pink skulls and stuff. They come with like little mini stickers. I might throw a couple on there. And then the other one, I mean, I did get all 3 of the Chocolate Angels. I've only opened that one because I want to review that one first. And I wanted to keep one so that I can show it in the review, like in the packaging still. But I showed that already. And then I also got the 3rd of those retro wave G.I. Joes. So I've got Scarlet here. Straight on her face looks kind of evil almost. Like she kind of looks mad and angry. Like, but from this profile, I think the face looks awesome. And just in general,
did she come with an alternate look as well, or is that just that one?
No, just that head, and then you have swap out ponytails. One's like flowing up, upwards. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I've been selling stuff. I've been trying to. I had a little financial thing where like my work wasn't going to pay for my jury duty, which is psychotic. Like they have this policy at my work where you're supposed to, you know how like when you get a jury summons, you're supposed to like, or you have the opportunity to like postpone it, right? Like if the date they've randomly chosen for you doesn't work, you can postpone it once. My work requires all teachers, like according to the rule book, to postpone it and pick a date that's on your vacation. Which sucks. And I didn't do that. They're still required to like pay you the first 3 days. Like that is a law in the state, at least here. I'm sure there's something similar in like every state. But then after that, I didn't think I was going to get paid. And I got put on a pretty serious trial. I was on a attempted murder case. And like it lasted over a week. So it was my 3 days plus 3 more. It's still like they still haven't like said they're going to pay me yet, but I talked to the union and they talked to the superintendent, and the superintendent was like, we haven't told anyone they're not going to get paid for jury duty, or I don't know. So we'll see if I'm going to get docked. but it's, 3 days pay is kind of a hit. So I immediately was like, let me sell some stuff and make sure that I have like an extra $1,000 like just handy, because it's real money.
So work was going to dock you?
Yeah. So like I would miss those.
I thought that was illegal. I thought that was illegal. I thought if you had, yeah, go ahead.
I would miss those 3 days, and it would be like, oh, he didn't work those 3 days. We aren't going to pay him for those 3 days.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine the teachers unions all over that.
Even just asking you to take it during your vacation, I didn't think was legally allowed. So
there's been some states where, some districts, I think there was an old situation in California, it might have been LA even, where there was a big deal and a big to-do about that kind of a request, because what was happening was, it was like in a district like LA, it was so big that it was like a substantial amount of jurors, and it was like they were just being flooded with teachers, and like the juries were like all very like one-sided juries. It was just like all teachers on all these juries. I mean,
it's not a bad thing.
What's that?
Not a bad thing. I mean, if they're all from different disciplnes, math teachers, social studies.
Yeah, unless you're accused of killing a bunch of teachers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, let's not go.
I stole money from a teachers union from their pension fund.
Embezzling from the teachers union.
All they have are teachers, and they're like dismissing teacher after teacher after teacher. They can't fill the jury.
Well, we got the jury for you.
Well, I gotta say, man, like, so I've been on. This was at least my 5th. I've lost track. This was at least my 5th jury that I've sat on. I don't think there's anybody in this chat that's ever. I doubt there's anyone in the chat that's ever sat on 5 juries or more. And I've had some serious ones, and this one was beyond all of them. I mean, it was an attempted murder. Someone was shot and paralyzed. A kid was shot. Thankfully, the kid was. It was like a minor wound. The kid was, it wasn't a life-threatening wound. The kid was the daughter of one of the suspects. It was just like this crazy thing. It was on the 4th of July during fireworks. There was video. It was like, it was crazy. And it was like, it had to be almost 70 pieces of evidence of what do you call it? Like exhibits. There was, I think, 24 witnesses. So we had like piles and piles of stuff. We had piles of medical records. We had tons of video to look at, surveillance footage, like, and
this is stuff they don't go over in court, right? You got to go over that on your own, or with the rest of the jury?
Presented all of it, or at least most of it. Like, they sort of presented what it was, but like, you're sitting in a jury of 14 really, and like, you're all kind of looking at these smaller screens, and you don't really see anything very well, right? Like, and then you kind of like get in the deliberation, and then you have to take like a really close look at it. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
The good and bad about being a sole proprietor is I've always wanted to be on a jury, and I can't. And I have, the thing is, I have a perfect excuse. I can just write a letter and say, listen, I'm the only person running this business. If I leave this business for 3 days, it's going to go under. Right. My clients are going to leave me. So like, I can't do it. And they excuse me, but I would love to be on one. It would. Right.
Maybe a 1 day. There are cases that'll last only a day. Like,
it's hard to know that you can get onto that. I don't even think you can like do that. The one time I did go in, I think I was working for another company, for somebody else's company, and it was literally my birthday that they called me in, like the day I had to go in. And I went up to the woman and I'm like, dude, like, they didn't call me. I'm like, how long do I have to wait here? I'm like, today's my birthday. She's like, it's your birthday? Give me your card. She took the card, she signed it. She's like, go home. Right. Happy birthday. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Nice.
But the other way to get out of a jury is just to say, I can spot guilty people like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's ways to get out for sure. I feel like I've been on a lot of juries. I feel like I'm well equipped to, be a pretty fair juror. So, I'm happy to do it.
Have you been a foreman?
I have not. I don't know if it's random or if they just pick I feel like they pick the oldest person every time. Seriously, like it's been every time it's been the oldest person, and this time it was the oldest person again. But I'm slowly like approaching. I was probably third oldest, but
you'll get there.
Yeah, it's funny. Like some people will go their whole life without even ever being called. I've been probably summoned like 10 plus times, and I've sat on 5+ juries. But anyway, that's enough.
Done your civic duty for life, basically.
Here they've got like a phone number that you call like the night before to see if they still need you, and almost always they don't. Like they usually settle everything beforehand, and yeah, I
had a year ago. I had that, so that doesn't get you out. Like so, if you actually show up, if they require you to show up, then the next 3 years you don't have to do jury duty. Like you've served. But if you only have the call and then they say you don't have to come in, then it's, it might be 3 years, it might be 10 years, it might be 6 months. For me, it was 6 months. It was literally like less than a year ago that I was like calling and they were saying you don't have to come in. And then like 6 months later, I got the summons again. It's hilarious.
Snap says, what action figure do you bring to keep yourself busy at trial?
Yeah,
and the term that popped into my mind was like a jury fig.
Could you imagine if somebody pulled out an action figure sitting in the...
Your Honor, it's my jury fig.
I saw a couple people pull their phones out of the jury.
Wow.
Like,
did they admonish that?
Well, no, because like they don't want you to have your phones at all. Like, but when they go to sidebar, there's like a stretch period, like a stretch. In years past, I felt like, oh my God, I would never take my phone out. Like that would be crazy. But I think now phones are so prolific where it's just like, I mean, during those stretches, or even like during the trial, I would see the court officer pull his phone out once in a while, and like
it's crazy.
It's like. I was a little shocked. I never would do that, but like I just saw somebody pull their phone. I was like, huh, whoa.
Joe Gonsalves says, "Bring Judge Dredd."
That's a good one.
It's perfect.
So yeah, I did my pickups. So let's dive into the Kickstarter, James. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I'm curious to see where we'll be in like 6 days time. I'm confident.
And what time? 11:43 p.m. on April 24th. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's next Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. So 6 days to go. You're at 61,000, and the goal is 80K. Yeah. You got 244 backers. So moving along pretty well. You still got 6 days. Still got a little stretch to go, but like I feel like that's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
I think it's in a good spot. I'm over the moon in terms of like where we are in terms of funding already and interest. So I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to the way the scaling is on this site. I'm trying to make sure that side is there. Yeah. All right, so give us your little like introduction to what this line is all about.
Yeah, sure. So like in terms of like the lore, it's set in the Corthix system, and then there's all these planets in this system that each planet has their own alien race, and as they're getting more scientifically advanced, they start discovering one another, and tensions start to rise. And as they're so busy focused on trying to conquer one another, there's a bigger looming outside threat that needs to be taken care of. Because if they don't take care of it, then they'll all get wiped out. So there's like these, like with like Tigron, and they're very like, who's the guy in the center there with the cape? He's very war driven and wants to conquer everything, but he needs to come to terms where he can't win every single battle. So it involves partnering up and taking on this bigger foe to just keep their existence intact. So that's kind of like an overarching background of the what Galactic Valor is, but in terms of like the product itself, it's a 1/12 scale line. It scales nicely with a bunch of other figure lines, such as AWOC and Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions, Star Wars Black Series, and Marvel Legends. Since the Kickstarter has been active, we've heard feedback that like these would look great. The Galactic Valor figures would look great in like say like a cantina scene in Star Wars, or like placed on a shelf with like Mythic or Cosmic Legions. But in terms of like what's being offered in the Kickstarter, the initial funding, this is everything that's available to you character wise. So starting on the left, there's the Shadow Stalker, and then working our way in is Grishk, who's a protagonist in the story. Then you have Tigron with his wired posable cape that C. Jessam did.
Nice.
And then we have the Starshock Commando, and then the Kickstarter exclusive Hyperion Tracer on the right.
I love that white armor on that guy. It's really cool.
One thing
sorry, Bill. Go on.
CJ does that is a very CJ thing. Is they put stitching, right? Like they put like stitching that creates patterns and things on there, and that is such a great added little detail. Sorry, Trevor, what were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say I like them with Cosmic. I mean, they're the body types are like between like a 1.0 and a 2.0. I would say like it feels like to me for the most part, and I like that. It's like it's a different body type, but they really fit in well. The articulation is really good. I think the thing the post you just put up a little while ago, or just the other day, with the articulation points, I think really helps, because you're dealing with a prototype, and again, having dealt with these things, it's like, well, the ones I got were all glued together, but that's the way those things go. You know what I mean? When you got a paint prototype, it's like it's tough to show people this is what it's going to look like without doing a lot of pre-production work on this stuff. But man, there's a lot of articulation on this. Pinless joints, butterfly torso hinge, the disc shoulders, the bicep swivel, wrist disc, rocker torso. It's just really good. Like they're going to be really nicely articulated.
Yeah, I like it when you have the upper and the lower torso articulation. Ball joints at each point, I presume, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're nice and tight too. They're like, is that going to be like a flexy, like soft plastic, the top part, like a little bit more soft, like so it kind of, okay. Yeah, because that's a prototype, but they look even tighter than that, I think. At least
there's just some with the prototypes they can just get a little bit loose, but everything will be like dialed in with once the factory works closer with them.
Yeah, they look almost seamless. They look really good. And that's a cool looking character too, man. That guy looks great.
Yeah, the artist that we worked with to create Grishk there was Bill Creative, and he does work for League of Legends. He's done some Games Workshop art, and he's done I think some stuff with Marvel.
Nice. Is he doing the comic book too?
No, he's just doing like the packaging artwork for all the characters.
Gotcha.
Why don't you shout out some more of the folks who are involved with sculpting, painting, all those things? Yeah, so like it was basically to get my drawings to life. I worked with a sculptor called Rafael Fernandez. He did work for McFarlane Toys. So he definitely has a lot of experience in the figure industry. And then I worked with to help choose the color palettes and like all the added extra detail in the paint was Nikki Nicole Customs. She was a pleasure to work with. She's been super supportive and has definitely brought these characters to life. Especially when we debuted them at Legions Con back in November. And then being able to get these, being able to show the amazing work that Raphael and Nikki has done with working with Trevor to get like the shots nice and crisp and with the product shots and showing like what everything comes with.
And then also working with Jared, or AKA Sir Dork, to help with like the promotional video, and then he's done a couple other little shots as well in his environmental.
Nice shots. Nice outdoor shots.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see effects in some of those shots. Like, I know he uses like fireworks sometimes. Was he lighting fireworks off next to the prototypes? Do you know?
He was, yes.
Wow.
I can report when I got them back, they were totally fine. So they came back unscathed.
Nice.
Smelled a little smoky.
Yeah, and there's a look at the cape. So here's the back of it.
Yeah, it's a really nice cape.
Yeah, have like the logo heat pressed onto the back of it too.
That's sweet.
I love the guy with the red visor.
Yeah. So
the Shadow Stalker, yeah.
Yep. And he'll have, I think we added the image to it to where there's an alien head underneath the visor, so you can it can kind of comes through the plastic.
There you go. Nice. So you can see it's translucent. It's
it'll
tough
be
to
a
see in the
translucent
prototype,
plastic.
but it really looks cool.
And this would be an army builder, this guy?
Yep. So there's two protagonists, Tigron and Grishk, and then all the other characters are army builder characters.
So this is an army builder commando.
Yep.
And is he the same race as this guy?
Yep. So
yeah.
He's like Tigron's like the new chieftain that has come into the fold, and he handpicks his Starshot commandos to take on like the hardest tasks to get the job done. And then Grishk and the Shadow Stalker are the same species as well.
Okay.
I like the side holsters on these guys. It's a nice little look.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's it's been a lot of fun designing these, and like what we wanted to do was like with all the accessories that they come with, we wanted to make sure like that they all have a place on the figure. So like if they come with a knife and a pistol, the knife can go in the sheath, and then the pistol can go in the holster. And then they'll be like back pegs as well, to where they can hold like backpacks and stuff like that.
I like that when there's a place for all the accessories that it comes with, or at least most of the accessories that it comes with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A bucket for all the extra hands, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Something like a backpack or something.
Yeah.
The hands are one thing, but like the weapons, like, you know what I mean? Like just something, at least a couple of them, like a holster to put the gun, like a sling to put the rifle on the back or something like that. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Load them up.
Yeah.
And then this is the exclusive.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fun one with this was we worked a lot we did like a voting system with the community. So we did it to where it was like we provided just a gray sculpt with a couple different head choices and different armor choices, and then this figure won, and then we provided like 5 different colorway options, and everyone voted on that. So this was the winner for the Kickstarter exclusive figure.
That's cool.
The good thing is, I think a lot of people are like now into a new, learning about a new, storyline or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think, even when I picked up Mythics for the first time, I was like, I don't care about any of these bios. Like, these are going to be my D&D fantasy figures. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't. But when you get them for one reason, you know what I mean? Which is if you're not into, like, if you don't want to, like, I don't know about the story yet, but you get that like Tigron for like a Sith character. I mean, he could easily be like a Star Wars Sith character in your photography or whatever.
Yeah.
Or on your
that's
shelf,
what I'm
or
excited to see. Yeah. Like
or on your customs. Yeah, customizing those guys.
Yeah.
And then you end up like getting into the story. Like if you've got something good and you've got some supporting material, which I know you've got like a comic book and stuff coming out with a story, like then that's at that point, once you pick them up, it's like, oh, I kind of want to know more about these things. And then the next wave comes out. So, this is the time to get in on this stuff because, this is the ground floor, man. You don't want to miss out on this stuff.
Yep. And then, we're including like add-ons. And so it's like with these golden accessories, it could be we've been jokingly saying it's like, oh, like you could outfit them with the golden accessories as if they've like had a good day at the casino or something like that. Show they can, shine on the battlefield or, stand out on your shelf. So that was kind of the idea behind this add-on pack.
Yeah, Tigran seems like he would love a gold accessory.
Oh, hands down. Yeah, he would definitely swap out the revolver, definitely, for that gold one.
Yeah, the touch of blue is nice on that with that gold.
Yeah,
color combo. And you got a comic book.
Yep. Yeah, got a comic book. So explain like what's going on, like what each tribe or alien race does, how they band together, and what this outside threat is. So like as the story progresses, we would love to do a big series of comic book issues for it, because it's all finished. It's just we just now have to get into comic book form.
Right. And then, so did you and Victoria do the story and art for?
No, so we worked with an artist out in Belgium. He does really good environmental concept art. So we're gonna do. Cool. I think it explains really what happens in like certain of the story arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
This is D Blake, who is.
Yep, it is.
Chat.
Yeah.
Someone
I think if he's still here, I think he's in the chat. But yeah, he's been a pleasure to work with. We were talking with each other at ToyCon New Jersey. He showed me some of the Galactic Valor signs, and I was like, dude, these are awesome. Let's work together and make it an add-on for the Kickstarter. So that's what we've done. So yeah, I'm super happy to be working with the Blake Makes on that.
Yeah,
nice.
He's awesome.
All right, and then we get into stretch goals here.
Yeah. So where we were in the initial offering, it was all different alien, like a few different parts or whatever like that. But there's mold reuse because it helps with keeping the mold fees down. But now, as we enter into the stretch goals, we're like, all right, let's reward people with like brand new molds from head to toe. We kind of also want to show you like how serious we are with expanding the Galactic Valor line. Nexus plays a pretty crucial role in the story. And we're going to make sure that all the peg joints are compatible with all the alien bodies, because in the story, aliens start to get introduced into the Nexus organization. So there will be Nexus aliens. So just making sure there's that cross compatibility and customization there.
Yeah.
What is the? Are some of the joints removable and swappable, or are they?
Yeah. So like the furthest we're going with it is we would like it to be where people can swap out the heads, the hands, the feet, armor, and then all the armor.
Yeah. Right. Nice. I love those heads on the Nexus Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really cool.
Yeah. So it was like to help, it's basically an army builder character, but we also wanted to provide it to where it's like, hey, you could have your helmeted characters, and then you could also have it to where you have like different officers of different ethnicities, and then the beret will also be removed, so you could have it to be where some guys like full ski mask or one. So you can have like different types of ranks within your Nexus Nexus army.
Yeah, they're nicely detailed. The weapons are really nicely detailed too, and nicely painted.
Yeah, and then
flat.
The Warmock. This is I would love to get this funded, but who knows? But when it comes to, I'll be at with Victoria. We'll be at Legions Con in November, and the goal is to have whether it gets this stretch goal gets funded or not, is to have like a prototype for Legions Con to show off. And again, it's just, we want to show you like, all right, it's 100% new molds across the board. The weapon on the back will be removable, have different armor, weapon attachments. We want it to be where like the aliens can mount the gun or mount the back of the Warmock. Stands at like 9 inches tall, so it's going to be a big, huge
that's nuts
chunk of plastic. But Well, again, we want to show you that like we're serious about wanting to expand the line and have all these different avenues and mold pieces for the portfolio to keep making new things.
Cool.
Yeah, let's
that
talk.
thing is awesome.
Let's talk about like the rewards and the pledges, right? So, a single figure is $30, right?
Yeah. So, with the figures, as you go up, you won't see a change in price, but that's simply because it's on the Kickstarter. It's the cheapest place where you'll get the figures. So, each figure outside of the Kickstarter, a standard figure, will be $32.99, and deluxe figures will be $37.99. So you'll be getting each figure at a $30 flat rate, no matter if you're buying deluxe or standard. So if you were to buy, 10 figures and they're all deluxe, you're doing massive savings right there. Right. So that's why you don't see like a price adjustment in terms of savings in the rewards.
So it's just straight up 30 times 24, like whatever these numbers are. Yep.
Correct. If you start getting to the bigger ones, we then include maybe like a free comic book and accessories pack and stuff like that, as well as other incentives. But yeah, like each figure, whether you're buying one or two, you're saving yourself quite a few dollars, depending on if you want to go for deluxe or standard.
And can you just recap? So maybe this one's the shot to look at. So deluxe and standard, you want to run through them?
Yeah. So all of them are standard besides Tigron, who has the soft goods cape.
Okay.
So Tigron outside of the Kickstarter will be $37.99, and all the other characters will be $32.99. So if you wanted to get, save yourself quite a bit of money, and you wanted to, start a Galactic Valor collection, this would be the place to do it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the stretch goals, is there retailer numbers included in those unlocks, or how does that work?
So like the Nexus characters, they'll be like $32.99, and then the Warmock is probably going to be anywhere in between the $60 to $70 price point from what we've been looking at with similar sized figures that the factory has done.
But what Curtis is asking is, in terms of like, you have these up on Big Bad Toy Store and the other retailers, is that stuff like periodically added to the total here, or how are you working with that?
Oh yeah, so sorry. Big Bad is the only retailer involved at the moment. They have it up on their website. They have the outside pricing of $32.99 and $37.99 on their website. But if there are figures ordered through there, they will be adding a pledge to the Kickstarter towards the end.
Okay.
And that'll work towards the unlock goals, like the one that you had up there. What was it, 120 for that first one?
Yeah. So like if we were to hit 120, we would then offer them the Nexus Guardian to then put up on their website to start taking orders on, and then it's a repetitive process. Then they put a pledge in, and then vice versa. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks.
Let's check in with the chat, see if there's any questions here. Let's see here.
Lots of good comments.
Yeah, lots of praise. Amazing price point for Warmock. Yeah, I agree. That is a great price. If it ends up being in that, that 60-70 range, that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, from what we've been getting from the factory right now, is roughly around that ballpark.
Let me know if you all see any comments you want to add in there. Just a lot of praise.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like
people asking, will the comic be available digitally, or is it just a print?
We're gonna start physically, but then we
Okay.
will bring it out digitally as well.
Okay.
Oh, I had a question about Warmock.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back down here. Are you planning to make the harness separate, like removable, where you could have it be sort of like, you know, just a bare animal essentially?
So it would basically be like a the whole entire mechanism would come off to where it's like just a bare animal, and then there'd be like the add-on attachment to where they could like snap into place on the back of the figure.
That's cool. That's pretty sweet. And
Damien says he almost added his own sign to the pledge. D. Blake.
So it's at 61,358. 6 days to go.
Yep, still plenty of time.
And the goal is 80,000. So there's still plenty of time. Spread the word, right? Like the best thing that, like, so for those of you in the group who are checking this out and you're like throwing a pledge in, you know, share it with a couple people, spread the word and let people know. It's a pretty small thing. It's not like 30 figures or something, you know, it's five figures basically. And whatever stretch goals you hit in addition to that. So it's not a super, like over the top kind of commitment. If
$150 for an all in is great.
All in. Yeah. Totally.
You know?
Yep. And then
you
like
have feet now too, right? Like you have optional feet, or you're gonna include optional feet or something?
Yeah, so that was like as
I like the feet they have. I don't know. I guess there was some
it was
thoughts about having some optional differences between them or something.
Yeah. So like as the Kickstarter was progressing and word got out, there was obviously a lot more eyes on the project. And one of like the biggest, and it wasn't just one or two people, it was, you know, it was quite a few people that were like, oh, we don't like how the feet are the same across all the characters. And in our head it was, well, one, they're aliens, but two, yes, I understand that it's repetitive use for the feet. So let's, just to help keep mold costs down. But then we spoke with the factory and we said, like, what would it cost if we were to add like 2 more parts? And it didn't turn out to be that bad. So we went ahead and added an additional set of boots. That'll come complimentary. So we're adding it free of charge to each of the figures. So they'll come with an extra, there you go. They'll come with an extra set of booties.
So if you're anal retentive about your aliens being that different, even though they're in the same galaxy.
Yeah.
And they're all, you know, bipedal, 2-armed, 2-legged aliens. God forbid they have the same feet. I think it works. I like it, but whatever. That's cool. That's cool that you're doing that, though.
Part swap customizing standpoint, it's nice to have any kind of options for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's kind of like how we looked at it. It was like, all right, there's quite a few comments talking about the feet. I was like, well, if we add the feet, we can then it allows for further customization. It allows for, you know, different aliens, and people can have like their own unique aliens even more. And then it allows us to do more armor packs down the line as well, including, you know, different feet that way as well.
Yep.
So this question from Tiffany, is the visor removable? We know that it's transparent and there's an alien under there, but is it removable?
As of right now, with the way that it's been sculpted and engineered, it's it would be like glued into place. But we still have a lot of wiggle room and time to where we can make it like probably like a snap to fit feature.
That'd be cool. And glued means removable with a heat gun. So there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true too.
Not intended to be taken off, but you can do that. Yes.
But you can.
Yeah, it's nice that the
very
armor, cool. you can pull the armor off and yeah, very cool. Anything else you want to cover with this?
I mean, I think it would just be like, I'm just, you know, thankful for all the people that I've worked with to help bring this project together. There's, you know, Trevor, Nikki, CJ and his wife, Jared, Raphael, like they've all been, amazing to work with. They've seen my vision. They've captured it perfectly. It just now comes down to, we've presented the idea. Now it's hopefully time to get it funded and into people's collections. So, I'm just very happy with, where it is right now and what we were able to accomplish with it, regardless of what happened.
Right.
Yeah. Get this going, man. Like $30. I mean, $30, $60, get a couple of these, again, you can work them into other things, and again, like that's your entryway, I know we got a lot of things to pick from and stuff, but it's good to help people out and get new things out there and some interesting things out there and some good looking figures out there. So I really want to see this go. So, do what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I was going to say, if somebody's into Cosmic Legions and they're customizing, I mean, heck, you can pay $30 for just one head or one soft good piece. So the fact that you're getting all of this stuff to kind of mix in with your Cosmic line would be great.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Like that. And it's been, like there's, when you're, so focused on designing something, you don't kind of think about those other things. So like when I was listening to like, oh, these would look great in like a Cantina Star Wars scene, or like, oh, these would look great next to other, like, as you said, Curtis, like Cosmic Legions and stuff like that. It kind of made me go like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is awesome. So that's kind of, the general feelings of like how it is right now. One last thing I would like to say is like, and we did it very well with our other Kickstarter campaign, Stardust, is we like to be as transparent as possible, because you're investing into the line and you're helping bring the line to life. We want to take you on the journey of showing you what's going on at the factory, how it's getting made. I think that's like the coolest thing, seeing like all the stuff getting built from the ground up. So I'll be, sharing as much as I possibly can and providing, countless updates, probably to where they're annoying, of how things are going and showing you where we are in the process.
And BJ says, just joined, how do these scale with Cosmic? So BJ, if you look at the image on the screen, there's a Mythic Legions figure there right next to one of the Galactic Valor figures, and you can see it's right in line, and Cosmic Legion is on the same body, essentially. Some parts sharing too with Mythic Legion. So,
you can't go wrong with aliens. Right, I mean, aliens are aliens. Like they're smaller, they're larger. I think they even though Black Series Stormtrooper is smaller, it's a tall alien. I mean, it works. Like with anything, that's the great thing about aliens.
Yeah, I mean, as collectors, we're all fighting for shelf space. Where do you put this stuff? And so, the fact that you can mix some of this in with your Black Series or with your Cosmic Legions or whatever, only benefits collectors, because then we don't have to try to figure out where we're going to put this stuff.
Yep.
So.
Yep, these will totally go on my Cosmic shelves.
All right.
Nice.
Well, thanks for coming on. You're welcome to stay. I'm sure you're pretty busy, so I don't want to like.
Yeah, I'll probably hop off, but I'll just say, Bill, Trevor, Curtis, I appreciate your time today and letting me, helping me spread the word for the Kickstarter campaign. The success of like, spreading the word and, with the Kickstarter as well, it wouldn't be where it is without you guys. So I'm super thankful for that. So again, thank you.
Yeah,
our pleasure. And thank you for, like coming on to this little channel and trusting in us to help spread the word.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You got a celebration live stream in mind Wednesday for this?
I'd love to do that. I'll be.
All right. We'll talk.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Bye, James.
See ya. Have a good one.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
packaging looks great.
It does. Yeah. Let's
really
just zoom in on that one more time real quick.
Just makes it makes it feel real. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. It's small. It's a small thing, and a lot of people will throw it out, but it just they're serious about this. So it's
So like
you could go and just take a picture and slap it on the back there and throw, but they went out and they got an artist to do some really cool renditions of this and be serious about
and like
this.
a key thing about that is like projecting ahead when you're
Mm-hmm.
like you're on wave 2 and you're still making wave 1 figures and you've got wave 1 figures you want to sell, whether it's a retailer at a convention or they're sitting on a shelf in a store or whatever. Like it's really nice to have that kind of look and like nice
Absolutely.
clean packaging. One side's the figure. I like to see when I see something lined up at a store, like the figure side sticking out,
Yep.
but also you have the name side. It's nice packaging, and then you got the cross sell on the back, of course, which is cool.
Yep.
But yeah, okay, let's
Good stuff.
let's get into a little toy news. So Rocom Toys has their Kickstarter. I kind of continue the Kickstarter theme here. They got the Mighty Maniacs Dark Earth line. Mighty Maniacs, this is the one I have here. Let me put myself solo for a second. This is their like original beast. It's like a furry, kind of like supposed to be like a furry body. And then like this one, kind of the way they might do like Master of the Universe Merman type thing, but like it's got a sort of like a merfolk brute kind of look to it. This is a Glyos line, 3-inch Glyos line, so compatible with all the Glyos. But that's Mighty Maniacs, and they've got a new Kickstarter going, Exit Solo, and then they've got 2 new figures, essentially, like 2 new molds that they're working on for their line. So you've got the Barbarian mold, and then you've got the new Beast mold, which is more like scales rather than like sort of like the fur of like this original Beast. But these are cool. These have almost like a mini Masters of the Universe kind of profile to them, with more articulation because they have swivel wrists and then they have swivel.
Really?
So if I let me go big again.
Oh yeah. So if you're looking for this, just for you got to look up Rocom.
Yeah,
For some reason it doesn't come
toy.
up with Mighty Maniacs on. I don't know.
Well, you gotta make sure you put the X at the end of Maniacs. That's what I was doing.
Maybe I
That's
was.
true.
Yeah.
So so there's a swivel wrist, and I like the swivel boot cut because it allows for different positioning standing wise, like depending on how you kind of have the legs forward and back. It's simple articulation, but there's a little more than just like 5 POA. It's Glyos,
Yeah.
so there's a twist at the waist as well.
They got a translucent green one that's awesome.
Yeah, that thing is cool.
You're looking at the Kickstarter?
The Kickstarter, yeah.
Yeah, so let me pull. Let me exit solo. So this one comes in transparent green.
Yeah.
And that one is so there's a couple like cross promotions, and that one is the Toy Galaxy one, I believe. And then there's a Toy Shiz. I think this red one might be the Toy Shiz one.
It is, yep.
And then there's some pins, like Toy Galaxy has a pin, and then Tom Whalen has a pin who's who's done work for Four Horsemen with the posters, those fight posters for Cosmic.
Awesome.
And he's done a ton of stuff for Mondo. He's done a lot of pins for Mondo. Like if you've ever seen I think he did the Transformers pins for Mondo. He did the
packaging for the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger boxes too, I think.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think he did the
artwork and he
for
did. Yeah, that's right. I thought he might have done some G.I. Joe maybe too.
Yeah, I think he did do some G.I. Joe too. Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm not going to go. We just went through a whole Kickstarter, so I don't want to like spend too much time on this. And I know Glyos is not really the focus here, but I do love me some Glyos. I mean, I got a whole bunch. Like I keep them right up in front of me right here because they're so fun to just like mess around with and play with.
What would you say the size on those is? Like a
3-inch.
3-inch. Okay.
Yeah, most Glyos are in that 3-inch. Some are a little shorter and some are a little taller. Like the Toy Pizza stuff, I think, is closer to 4-inch.
Mm.
And then the like these are about 3-inch. And yeah, most of them I think are like right in that like 3 to 4 inch range. Yeah.
Cool.
I have not been bitten by this bug yet. I hope not to be. Honestly,
I want to try to get my daughter into that. I think she'll love playing with. I think kids like. I think these are like perfect kids.
It reminds me of
like,
Muscle
really
when
nice.
I was a kid. Like I love those Muscle figures, man. Those were the best. But they moved.
Yeah,
Muscle didn't move. Muscle was.
They were solid. Yeah, it's funny because I have this 3D printed 3D sculpt from Reynolds Cruise. And it's like
Was
it's
it a
very
Glios muscle?
looking.
There you go.
It's a solid piece, like a muscle. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like a little bigger, but it's a very much like a muscle with a skull. And then there's this. This might be one of my favorite ones. I've shown this before, but this guy right here. This is I'm trying to remember the name of that line.
Oh man, Robo needs one of those.
I'm not diehard into the Glios stuff, so I constantly forget all the different ones, but someone in the chat will remind me what that one was. But anyways, yeah. So the Glios Mighty Maniacs from Rocom Toys. If you're interested in checking out some Glios stuff, this is a great opportunity.
It's almost there. 25 out of $30,000 goal with 31 days to go. So
yeah, it just started.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they also are the ones who did the Toy Galaxy one that's more spacesuit robotic kind of looking one. Like, so that one, and he did announce that he's going to have some more of those, like a second run of those later. Let's see here. All right. And then moving on, I think this might be the only other little bit of news, but the Mezco Miles Morales from Spider-Verse is up for pre-order, $85 standard figure. So it's like, it's not an exclusive or anything like that. Bunch of different heads. It's pretty good for 85. It's got, all the different head sculpts. Not really doing it for me in terms of the photos, but the turtles really didn't do it for me in terms of the photos either. So who knows?
Yeah.
But comes with the comic book, and then it's got a couple little effects and a bunch of different webs shooters. Oh yeah, one other piece is Savage Crucible, and I kind of did the rundown here of their latest announcement. I know a lot of people who watch this show backed the Savage Crucible Kickstarter. They did get delayed a bit, not too crazy, like it's still about a year, right? So that's pretty good for a Kickstarter. And this is wave 1 with the lizard Lemurian characters. So here's the rundown of what's going on here. So shipment 1 left China on March 30th and will arrive, like it's scheduled to arrive at their warehouse next week. And then they're suggesting that the first couple weeks of May is when the Kickstarter backers will start seeing their orders ship. So just a heads up on that. Those are going to be coming in very soon, less than a month on those. Assuming that the shipment arrives on time. I guess they expedited it, and it's like a pretty solid guarantee in terms of shipment, at least that first shipment. Mm-hmm. And then the second shipment also expedited, and that will be the website pre-orders. So if you didn't order from the Kickstarter, you ordered from their website, then I'm not sure if that includes like other website pre-orders. Like probably does, right? Like Big Bad, like they'll ship them off to Big Bad at that point and whoever else may have had them. And then those are scheduled to arrive at the end of May, so early June for those. And then shipment 3 for website pre-sales, which I don't know the difference really, but that is scheduled to ship early June as well. And then I think one of the biggest announcements is that like they're going to have a couple more figures that they've produced already that are going to drop in 2024, and they're going to be just like surprised, like kind of surprised. I mean, not a surprise they're revealing it now, but like whatever it is going to be a surprise, and then that will be something that ships out this year. Like it'll be like, oh, this thing's in stock, come and get it, you know. So that's something new.
I blame Purple Gang for not being able to think of lizard people without thinking of Nate Armstrong.
He is the best lizard person.
Ooh la 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 la.
Conan, yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a great call right there. The Conan figure from Mezco and any other, you know, Conan figures you might have, like, yeah, totally. There you go, Trevor.
It haunts my dreams.
And yeah, okay. So let's do the giveaway before we get into the pros and cons of the mystery boxes, and we'll kind of walk through like what the mystery boxes are all about. We'll do the giveaway. We're going to do 2. I'm going to start with Necronominus because I've already sort of preloaded that one. So we're going to do the Necronominus pin first. Just got to hashtag. Get that going here. Make sure I spell it right. The Etheron one is going to be the one that's going to be tricky to spell. But all right, so I'm going to get the banner up if I can find it. Enter Necronominus in the chat for a chance, and I'll share this tab instead for a second. Necronominus. We got the spellings accurate here. Necronominus. Yeah.
Necronominus. Yep.
Enter Necronominus in the chat for a chance to win the Necronominus pin right here. So this was still part of that full set of 14 pins that I was able to snag during the in-stock sale. So we got that.
So when you got that set, I know you were keeping some and doing some as giveaways. What were the ones that you were looking for?
Most specifically, it was which I have. Oh, did I put it? No, yeah. I love the Sons of the Red Star. It's not my favorite faction, but I just love I love that logo. And then I'm probably also keeping Arethyr since it is my favorite faction. Those were the 2 that I really wanted. Mostly this because the only other like faction pin I have is the original red Sons of the Red Star. So this will go next to it on my backpack. Like that was the main thing. But I'm gonna keep a couple others, including Arethyr, and I may keep the Horseman pin, the the Equidron pin or whatever, like that. Like this one right here.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep.
Yeah, that's neat.
And then so all of like the main factions will do. So we still have Noble Bear and Alithia and Xylona's Flock still to give away on a later date. But let's let that roll for a couple more minutes.
Doak says a teacher who likes a gold star seems cliche.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, let's let that roll, and then come back to this, and we'll just kind of like just explain the mystery boxes. So they are they're doing a 2-pack grab bag. Now we're gonna get into kind of like some of the definitions of things. Like, is it a mystery box? Is it a loot box? Is it like what is it? To me, this is a grab bag product. And you get 2 figures for $75 plus $10 shipping no matter how many you order on a single order. So if you order 3 sets of 2, it's still $10 shipping if you're in the US. Still calculated shipping outside the US. But, depending on how many you get, I think this is great. The shipping thing is great for people on the West Coast. Like for me, it's probably about the same. Like there's probably not much of a difference. But like for people on the West Coast, I mean, I've seen some of those prices and they can be rough.
Yeah.
So this is really great. But what they're doing is it's 2 random figures, but one of them is from pool A of figures and one of them is from pool B of figures. Pool A is this pool right here, and these are like a lot of like the current figures, the type of thing that you'll see on their tables right now at conventions. Like if you go to a convention, you're at least a big convention, you're pretty much going to see these. A lot of these could be in stock right now at a lot of like retailers. That's the type of figures this pool of figures is. So you get one from this set. And then the other figure is one randomly from this set of figures. And these are the chase figures right here. And there's some really cool stuff in the chase figure selection. Some of these, they've gone back in and done a more recent rerun or reissue production run on them. Little less than half of these. They were intending to just beef up their supply of stuff to sell at conventions, like their supply of like older stuff to like draw people to the table and just to kind of, still have that like draw at their convention tables. But they decided to pull some from that. And this is my interpretation, is to try to like clear out some of this stock to kind of like bundle them together and create this situation where there's a little bit more demand for a product that includes one of these newer figures that are a little less like hot right now. So the 2 sets of figures, like when you break down the chase figures, these are the ones that were rerun. So there's going to be, kind of like more of these available. So you have Brother Mandibulus, Kador, Calavius, the Red Shield Soldier, the Shadow Elf Warrior, and then the Shadow Elf, or the Elf Ranger. Yeah. Sir Godfrey, Snag. That's a great one to be reprinting because that's a hot figure. That in Faunus as well. The Fury Orc, Trevor. Fury Orcs.
God, I just think about how many Fury Orcs I spent like $80 on, and now I could get that and another figure more for $80. Yeah. And
then Zarya, Gonks, Hagnon, and the Shadow Elf Ranger, right? So those are the reissued chase figures. Yep. So there's a little bit more robust supply of these characters. Some of these, like, I still think Calavius is one of the all-time best because it's so unique. The color patterns, it's just such a unique figure. And then these are like, to me, these are the true chase figures. I'm gonna pull the banner down for a second.
Yeah, I would say there's a mix here though, like between this and the stuff that's reissued. Yes, they're not reissued, but some of these I would rather have some of the reissued figures over some of these,
but like in terms
even though
of
they're rarer
supply, terms of lost it. There we go. In terms of supply, they were saying, some of the figures there's only a case. There might be only 12 Bromdens. Yep. There might be only 6 Thalen Frostbows. Right. So like you're probably more likely going to hit one of these than you are to hit one of these. Yep. Thankfully Ragna wasn't one. I don't think there's really any demand for Ragna. I actually think it's
Ragna is underrated, man. Ragna's a good figure. It's still a good figure. And I know Curtis is going to say Eric doesn't even like Ragna. I know. But it's a good figure. It's a decent figure. I like Ragna. She's good. It's good colors, cool colors.
The paint apps are cool, for sure.
Yeah, the paint apps are nice.
She's not the perfect dwarf female. Like, we have the perfect dwarf female now, but, she's a thin dwarf female. That's good.
Yeah, so that's the rundown. So you're getting one of these.
Which there's a lot of good stuff in there, too. Like, honestly, I mean, especially if you're looking for fodder or, body types, or even if you missed a Lithia. There's so many people coming in that missed a Lithia. Yeah, if you go to a show and you're at a show, you can get this stuff. But otherwise, you're going on Big Bad and you're paying full retail price for some of these things if they even have them in stock at this point. So there's some really good stuff.
Can you show the 2 chase slides again, the reproduction and the other?
Yeah. So here's the reissued.
And then the other one.
And then there's the warehouse finds.
Yeah, Dave's
this last slide I made.
Yeah, Dave's saying no Grisha on either slide. So I'm guessing she would be on this one.
Oh, Grisha, yeah. I guess I left Grisha off. Grisha should be on this one because I made the
Grisha's
slide. I
on the
screwed that
find.
up.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Grisha the Slitherer. That's a great figure. I like that.
There should be
Were there any
14
others?
Thistlethorns, right? Like something like that.
24 Thistlethorns.
24, that's right. Damn it, I forgot the number. Shit.
Mythic Dolphin has 4 Ragnas and likes her.
Yeah, see? Hashtag Ragna. Ragna rules.
Okay, let me just, before we spin the wheel on this giveaway, what would you want most from this page that's up here right now? The warehouse finds, the ones that are probably least likely to be pulled. What would you most want, Curtis, from this list if you pulled one?
As far as the only one I don't have on this is Balam.
Oh no.
For that in my collection, I would say that one. But
Nice.
as far as like just getting one of these, I would probably say Delphina, maybe Delphina or Thalen. One of those ladies I definitely could use more of. So yeah, that would be my pick if I had one.
Yeah.
How about you, Trevor?
Thalen's great. I really like Thump, and I don't know why. Thump was at Muskecon, and I was on the table, and I walked by it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pick up one of those later, and I never did. And Thump's a great figure, man. As goblins go, probably one of my favorite figures. King Bromden is a great figure for that head sculpt. We're seeing that now with the 2-pack for Legions Con used, and then that crown comes off, so you can use that crown on something else. I'm thinking fodder here because I think I have everything. Yeah, I have everything on this page. I love the vampires. Vampire warriors. I'm always down for those. More of those things. Yeah, I'd be happy with anything here. Like really, I mean, I have them all, but I'd be happy with another one just to have some fodder or to try some different pieces out on different things. But
yeah, I changed my answer. Steve, I forgot Grisha would be on this page too, so that would be my answer because I don't have that one.
Yeah, because that's a unique helmet. Yeah, you can't get that anywhere else. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
I don't have a Lord Viteris, so
oh no, okay.
Just like to have that tribute. I think that would be the one that I would probably want the most off of here. I have a couple parts from him. I just don't have the whole figure. I never bought the whole figure. So that would be a good one for me. And then on this page, what would you guys want? Curtis first.
Well, with the last page, if I ended up with a Lord Viteris, because I already do have one in my collection, I would probably just take it and have Joe sign it at Legions Con and put it next to my Sir Gerard. Yeah. So that's actually a neat idea if I ended up getting that. But on this one, Sir Godfrey, like hands down, not even close. Like that's the one that I've been like, you don't even see them for sale. Like you go to like eBay and stuff and you don't even see them available. So unless somebody's like piecing together one that's not a real one. So
right. Yeah. The when they did some more production of the Templar Knight, and they had that one time where they had the full paint, I believe they accidentally did the Sir Godfrey paint job on it. It's just missing the plume. But like I think that's what the mistake was when that happened back then. And now there's two like detailed paint. There's technically, I guess, 3 Templar Knights. There's the one that has no paint on any of the silver except for the helmet. And then there's the one that has like some detailed gold painted onto there. And then there's the one with like the full gold painted on. Those are like, if that's a sign of what Godfrey looks like, it's gonna be an exquisite Templar figure. Like it's a great paint job.
Yep. Yeah, I need Godfrey and I need Kador. I thought I had Kador, but I don't. So I need those two. And I think I have enough Fury Orcs at this point, but I could always use another Fury Orc. I want to build out my Shadow Elves. So I would take either one of the Shadow Elves. Those are great looking figures. And quite frankly, the Red Shield soldiers. I gave away a lot of Red Shield soldiers because I got a lot of them, and then I gave away more than I think I wanted to, and now I could use a few more. Yeah. So, yeah, and Snag. I mean, Snag's that head, another unique head that you can't get anywhere else on anything else, and it's a great head, man. Great figure.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards I do have the Shadow Elf Warrior. I don't have the Shadow Elf Ranger, and I kind of lean towards that figure I've wanted for a while. Kador I don't have either.
Literally the only thing I don't want on this list is the Shadow Elves. So if I get them, I'll hit you guys up.
I don't want Hagnon.
Yeah,
that's the one I got enough bummed out if I get Hagnon.
Yeah. See, if I got a Hagnon, I'm pretty sure I would just dye it a different color because
I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah,
really cool ones. I wouldn't buy one specifically to do that, but if I ended up one,
fell into one.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about this line is like a lot of us are pop-in swappers or customizers, and even if a figure randomly falls into your lap, there's something fun to do with it no matter what.
I've seen, and one thing I haven't done with Hagnon is like pop and swap some of the parts with other like solid painted parts, which I've seen looks really cool. You know what I mean? With like a solid armor or something like that is a different figure. But yeah, I would totally try and dye one because those look really cool. I think a lot of people are going to love Brother Mandibulus. I think a lot of people are going to be looking for
You've got the, don't you have the vision that Eric Miller did where he dyed like the hands or something on
the hands yellow?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some parts from that. Yep. It works great, man. It's really, really good.
All right, we got 75 entries, and we have a second giveaway to do. So we are going to spin this wheel. Get your vote or get your entries in.
Saw Babylon squared up there says 3 differences with Sir Godfrey is the red plume, shoulder pauldrons, and his mace weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't think about the pauldrons, but yeah, they are different because the regular Templars have the big rounded,
the bulkier ones.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so let's spin this. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, draw. Good luck, everyone. If you win, send me a message. If you're not connected with me on socials, then podcast@DorkLair.com is the email. Eric Alfred Abel.
What's going on, man?
Congratulations.
Congrats.
That does not look like a familiar name. So a newcomer.
Yeah, Eric's in a lot of the chats, a lot of toying around chats and stuff. So cool to see you here.
Congratulations, Eric. So if we're not connected on social, then just email me at podcast@dorklair.com. Let me know your address, and I will ship you the Necronominus pin. And then I just got to get the next one set up here. So I'm going to pull the banner down. I will put that back up, and you guys can... Let's do that. You can chat about it because that one does have the Grisha. Maybe if there's anything else I missed, you guys can chat while I get the next one set up.
As Bill tries to spell Etheron.
EATHYRON.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Is that right?
Now.
Yep.
Phelan is another great figure.
It's not really straightforward, but
it's I've been
exposed to it enough that
I was gonna say, like, once you're used to, like, I think it's almost becomes like a second language, like mythic and cosmic spelling.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
on my phone, it auto.
You know when to add that extra consonant, like 2 R's. Oh, wait a minute, there's 2 R's in that. Okay.
All right.
I know English and Treadaway.
EA. Just try to spell Barch. I mean, I still
I still don't. I still can't do it.
All right, so EATHYRON.
Or Garich.
EATHYRON. And I'm just gonna make sure here. EATHYRON.
I see a lot of people like excited about Eagleus. I mean, Eagleus was available so many times at like New Jersey Toy Con that I finally just like pick one up just because, like, all right, I guess I gotta have this.
Mm-hmm.
There were, and I will say one thing about this, and we're gonna get into this in the pros and cons, but like people talk about how, well, they should have just rerun all of them and then put them up for pre-order, and we would just order how many, and it's like, you got to understand that almost every single one of these figures was a shelf warmer on like Big Bad Toy Store for a long time.
Well, and almost
like,
every one of these has lost an all-star vote recently. So that doesn't really speak highly for, people are going to order these in numbers. So
Right.
Yeah, so I am collecting entries now. If you put it in like super early, like just put in another, it's not going to enter you twice. All right. It won't enter your it only one per person, but just put another one in, because if you did it while I was like typing it in, it might not have like got you. So just make sure you get your entry in for hashtag Etheron. I'll put the banner up, and I'll pull this.
The Eagleus you were talking about, like,
Yeah,
I actually have that. I've got a box of like holiday figures, basically. Like we've got, a lot of the figure obscura where I'll pull out just at Christmas time or just at Halloween or whatever. Eagleus is one of those that he's in that holiday figure box, so he only comes out,
Flag Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean, so he's not like just out there all the time.
Yeah, it's a cool figure. It's a nice bird. To me, it doesn't fit in with Legions. It's like one of those outlier. It's almost like a figura obscura type of thing. But I know I've seen a lot of people like, he's the one I don't have. I really want to get him. But yeah, I'd be a little disappointed if I got Eagles.
I'd like, I'm curious to see how Gonks will be. That is such a like heavily, I don't want to say caked on, because that sounds like
I love Gonks.
It's such a
awesome.
heavy paint job that it'll be interesting to see what round 2 of Gonks comes out like. I feel like,
I know they try to keep them the same, but there are sometimes a little difference when they come out. Yeah, when they put it out, it's like
And I remember a lot of original Gonks were like wet. They were like they were that figure where like you get it and it's still wet because it's such a heavy paint job. It's like, when I got my Gonks, it was still wet.
Interesting.
I hate a wet Gonks.
It tried eventually. You got to take it out, put it on the shelf. It was like Magnus's belt. Remember Magnus's belt was like,
you got to get it out in the sun every once in a while, right? It's like never mind.
I do remember that. I had totally forgotten about that till you said that about Magnus's belt. I do remember it being a little sticky when you first got it.
Yes, I remember
Magnus's belt for sure.
My belt up here, right up top on the shelf right in front of me, and it was there for like a month, just curing. All right,
but they did a good job with Ilgar. Like Ilgar, I don't know. I haven't really put it under a microscope, but I thought it looked pretty good. Like it looked pretty much like the original.
Most second releases are pretty close as far as like the all stars and stuff.
Like I think the blood armor, like
blood armor is way different. Yeah,
like
the second round of that. Yeah,
the all star versus the 1.0.
Yeah.
For the blood armor was different.
I am awaiting the day when people start getting into, and I know it's going to be. It's not this book that they're coming out with because it's not that type of book, but it's like the Star Wars books where it's like, well, this is the blonde Luke that came from Korea, and this is the slightly darker brown-haired one that came from Japan, and like I'm waiting for that to start to happen with. So far, it hasn't with Mythics. Like, you buy
I will
this,
say,
if it comes with the white ties in the box, then it's like, okay, that's original. Yeah, I know the Templars with the gold. That's true. Yeah, that's one.
That's one.
Yep.
But that's more like, it's not just a difference; it's like an improvement. So it's
I thought the Romulus had better paint apps on the All Star than the original. The black seemed to pop a little bit better too. It's not hugely noticeable, but you put them side by side, and I think the new Romulus did look better.
I haven't seen the people though, and I'm not like this yet. that like no, I can't have the reissue one. I have to have the original one in package with the white. Like it's. I know the paint differences. This one's got the gold wasn't quite didn't hit this line on the pauldron or whatever. I haven't seen a lot of that yet, so it's coming. It'll come down the line for sure, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, they have. I think on some of the reissues, they have been doing the new styled shield clips instead of the old
That is
ones that
true.
went around the wrist too. So that is another change.
They
That is true. Sir
confirmed that on
Godfrey will come
right?
with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So getting into the pros and cons, I did want to just share my interpretation of like a couple like terminology things. So mystery boxes in general, like people are using the phrase loot box to describe this, and I kind of take issue with that because a loot box is a digital game concept, and it's like a highly predatory gambling addiction kind of. So it's like a digital phone, or video game. Yeah, it's a lotto. Like this is not that. This is not that kind of thing. Like
you're winning something here, and
right.
Honestly, $75. That's 30. What 36? Is that even 36? 35 is 70. $37 a figure.
Yeah,
approximately $37.50.
That's the pre-order direct price.
That's a great price.
And there is a little gambling bit to it, a little mild bit, because you might get $100 figure, you might get a $35 figure in terms of aftermarket value. They're all retail $50.
Sure.
So they're all cheaper than the retail price, which is totally fine. And there's not as big a swings. When it's a loot box, you might get something crazy or you might get something minimal. Like, this is not a loot box. This is not the same concept. So I just wanted to kind of like put that language.
And you're really only down to the stuff that's warehouse finds that's going to retain any kind of value, which I get it. It's, somebody's going to win on that. The reissues, I mean, to me, like every time they've reissued something, even a version 2, like a version 2 of Attila, like that version 1 went down in price vastly, you know what I mean? Like hugely, because people just there was no demand for it anymore. So like when you're I have no idea what the numbers of reissues that they've done on these things, but I got to imagine Kador, you're not going to take Kador or even Sir Godfrey and slap them up on eBay and get $250 for them anymore. You know what I mean? Like as soon as these come out, Sir Godfrey's going to drop in price. So
I still think, like they were talking about people trading and stuff.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more sales than you will trades. Like I don't like if somebody gets a, I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out. Like, let's say you get like a Morgulith and then another person gets like a Kador. Well, there's a significant price difference on those two right now. So I don't think people are just going to straight up trade one for the other in most situations. I think it's going to be a lot of, hey, I got this. I don't need it. I'm selling it. And at the same time, I'm also looking to buy this other one.
Right.
Maybe. Maybe. Or it's a trade 2-for-1 or something like that for one of the more warehouse findy figures or something like that.
All I know is if I pull the Hagnon, I better get a Bromden in trade. I better, because they're even. It's the same box. They're $37.50. So that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. I mean, but I get your point though, because there's no situation in here. Like even if you got from the 2 list, if you're looking at it as an individual consumer and you go, this would be the worst one from that list, and this would be the worst one for me from that list, and you end up with those two are still worth more than what you're paying for this box.
Right. You can still sell them and get your money back.
So
you could sell them and make money. $10, $15, or break even or whatever. You're good. And the thing is, like, you don't have to buy them. You don't have to buy them. I think this is fantastic. It's just like All-Stars. You don't have to buy it. Like, it's great for people who either need an older figure or are just getting into the line and really want to fill out those ranks of older figures that are, and you got a chance at some really good stuff here. I think it's awesome, and I really like it. But I know this is what you're doing here, Bill, with your pros and cons. So
right, the pros and cons, and I feel like I invited heavy pros on. So I'm going to be relying on the chat to get into some of the cons with me here.
I don't think you'll have a problem there.
I did want to.
That's why you brought me, right? To be the bad guy.
I thought you could have a little bit of a
I can
anti
definitely throw some
perspective.
cons. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted a couple more like language things. So when I think of a mystery box, I think of like a loot crate, which kind of jumbles up the word loot, which I was just saying this is not like loot crates, or like even like Von Berk's awesome. Was it every other month? Those the Von box thing where it's like
you don't know what you're getting.
A bunch of
it could be
people
anything. Yeah.
are gonna pre-order this thing, and every month you're gonna get a product, and like all those people are gonna sort of get the same product, and there's like a collective experience of sort of opening this and trying to like prevent others from being spoiled and like getting the surprise and like that. That's to me is like sort of like mystery month, like a mystery subscription or something like that, right? That this is not that either. This is more varied than that. This is to me a grab bag. So the seller creates like a certain number of random boxes. Usually it's to try to help relieve an overstock situation where you have a lot of stuff that's not selling super well, and you're going to mix in some hot ticket items so that you kind of sell it all and give people like maybe a discount or whatever in terms of like pricing. And so oftentimes there's like let's say like Empire Toy Shop, they do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
It'll be like $50. You're going to get a standard Mythic Legions figure from one of the most recent waves, and
worth
one
$50.
out of the 50 boxes is going to have an Otho in it, or is going to have some crazy thing. Like maybe it's going to have a horse, or it's going to have a troll, or like one out of all of those is going to have that one hit. This is also not that. This is a grab bag, but this is more evenly spread out, and there's no real big swings. You're getting a quote unquote hit, and you're getting, just a standard. So a standard and a hit. And so it's a little more spread out, and that all of that needs to be kind of taken into consideration when you're thinking about the pros and cons, and you're thinking about, like I've heard people say, I can't believe Four Horsemen have stooped so low as to do mystery boxes. And it's like,
even with Milos,
or they describe it as like loot boxes, and it's like it's not a stooping in this situation, in my opinion.
I don't get it, because even with Milo's Empire Toy Shop stuff, which he's not, I wouldn't say he was a pioneer, but like he does a lot of these things, and I think people love them. It's $50. You're getting a
sell
figure
out every time. They sell.
You're getting a figure that is worth $50 retail. So like you're not losing your money. It may not be something that you want. It may be something you already have, but you paid the $50 for the shot at it, and you're taking your chances. You're not getting something that you specifically ordered. It's fun. It's just fun. And the fact that like most people are like, oh, this is fun. This is exciting. I love these mystery boxes or these mystery things that Empire Toy Shop does. And then when Four Horsemen do it, it's like, well, Four Horsemen shouldn't be doing this. They should just give everybody a chance to get everything that they want. And like, but it's fun. It's fun. Like this, they're just doing something.
They're trying something different. And they're trying to like get some older stuff back out there without like drastically harming themselves and their retailers, because if you just keep doing those reissues, they just keep becoming peg warmers. Like look at, I'm gonna go back actually here, like look at this. How many of these are all-stars that were like, oh my God, if they could just reissue Scaffold,
Vetus,
if they could
Azar,
just reissue
Scaffold,
Vetus, I just want to
Ilgar.
buy Vetus. Well, there it is. Everybody, it's available everywhere. Why isn't everybody buying them up and selling them out like that? So that like there's this heavy demand that kind of generates this larger production, and then once it becomes common, the masses don't really want it anymore. Right. And they're kind of stuck with this stock, especially the retailers are kind of like sitting there stuck with the stock. So
well, quite frankly, to be honest, maybe they overordered, but this is what they're doing.
But they're over-ordering because everybody's over-pre-ordering and canceling orders. And
possibly, that could be too. Like, that could be too. Yeah.
The demand creates
But they do order extras over what people order. For retailers or for, again, to put on the table at shows and stuff like that. And they may have they just didn't sell. And it's a way to get those out of the storeroom, because I've been there, man. Like, that storeroom is flowing out into the floor now, to the offices now. So yeah, stuff's got to go, and it's a good way to go, and you're getting your money's worth. You know what I mean? It's not like they're overcharging for it. You know.
All right, let me run through my pros, and maybe you guys can keep an eye on the chat, and if there's any pros that we don't cover, we can bring them up once I get through this list. So, pro: getting an older figure back into circulation without flooding the market. Literally what we were just talking about, because that often happens where Vetus is now, it's not really a desirable figure. Offering collectors a box opening experience similar to opening a pack of trading cards. That to me is kind of the fun part of it. I love cracking Magic packs. I love it. And this is kind of like that thing. And like there's a shared experience with that I think is another one on here.
And to that point, like, that could be fun to do. Anybody can go live on the Cabal, like go live with your, opening up your mystery pack, man. That could be fun. I think it's going to be fun to watch people, if they get a bunch of them or even just one, just open it up and see what you got. It could be exciting. You know what I mean?
Newer collectors will be pretty much guaranteed to get an older figure that they still need. Like, this is great, especially if you missed like some of the recent waves. If you've missed Alithia, if you've missed some of these recent All-Stars waves, like, and you just haven't gotten them yet, like, and you're looking at Big Bad and you're like, damn it, it's $50, and it's kind of like, it's I could probably get it for cheaper at a con or whatever. Now's your chance to get it for $37.50 plus, I guess plus 5, so $42.50, right? Like, so this very heavily favors newer collectors. As somebody who kind of tries to cultivate my channel completely around, not completely, but like I try to really make my channel super welcoming to newer collectors, and I try to make it so that newer collectors feel like it's a helpful place to be. I think this is a great thing about these mystery boxes, is that it's super good for newer collectors when it's like, I just want to dip my toes in the line and check it out. Like, this is a great way to do it.
Yeah. When I got into the line, it was early parts of COVID. There were no real waves being solicited or rolled out. And the only figures available were what was available on Big Bad Toy Store, which was, some Lord Vateris, some Templars, some Fury Clan. And that was really about it. There wasn't a ton out there.
Yeah.
And then whatever you could find on eBay. If something like this came up in 21, when I first started collecting, like, man, that would have been just gold.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would have been, over the moon.
Yep. Yeah, I wish something like this had come out years ago, honestly, when I first started too.
Oh, I guess I repeated. That's like the same. Okay.
Happens.
So there's minimal financial downside. The MSRP of a box is $100, and it's a $75 purchase. So like, it's not, there's no real financial downside to it. Each box is under MSRP. So that's like another pro on this.
I did hear the Euro guys talking about, John was saying, and it's funny. John seems to hit from John Caulfield, seems to hit the things like on the head just before they go live. He's like, I hope this isn't like a mystery box like that.
Yeah.
And it's a mystery box. And like, I get it. Like, Euro, it's going to be a little bit more, like the cost is going to be up there.
Yeah.
So it may not be worth it. Like, again, like, it may not be worth it unless you're going to get a bunch of them or get together with a bunch of people who are, fairly local that you can send to each other, or if a retailer grabs some of these and sells them, whatever. But like, yeah, I can see where it's not going to be worth it. But inside the U.S., I think it's a definite bargain.
There have been a lot of sale of mythics lately. Overproduction on Legion. Should we be worried? No, you shouldn't be any more worried than any other product that had a crazy boom during the pandemic, and you're kind of hitting the tail end of that that demand was so high in 2020, 2021 that every company was like just producing a ton because people were crying. They were crying because they couldn't get figures. They were crying out loud at the fact that there was just not, I mean, people were like going crazy over Super 7 Turtles. Like Super 7 Turtles were like $80 a piece. And then they were like, all right, let's make more and more and more and appease the masses. And then now we're at the place where everybody's got too much stuff. The economy's not as good and they're backing off. And now that all this production is hitting, everybody's like pulling back. And there's just overstock. It's just the ups and downs,
fluctuation.
Ups and downs over the years, and you're going to get to a point where stuff's going to be undersupplied, and then it's going to suck because like stuff sells out, and you didn't pre-order it because you were going to wait for it to go on clearance, and it's just a cycle.
And the only two things you should be quote unquote worried about are for the horsemen overproducing and losing money and having financial issues, which they're not. So you don't have to worry about that. Right. And B is if you were collecting for value, which I don't think you should ever do.
Correct.
That's just me. You know what I mean? Because like if you think you're going to make mint on everything that you collect, man, I got news for you, man. Talk to people who collected stuff even from the 70s and 80s and stuff, mint and package. Like there's a lot of, stuff that's just not, it goes out of style and people just don't want it anymore. So like enjoy it for what it is while you got it, and don't think about the value of it.
Talk to the people who spent $1,000 on a Mezco white Ninja. Now it's like 300.
Yeah, don't be one of those guys that goes, this is an investment and I'm gonna put my kids through college with this. Because no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're just not.
You're not.
Honestly, I don't think there's a lot of people who like actually.
I've seen them.
I think that's died down, but man, when the boom of like the Black Series and stuff, and I knew people were keeping them in boxes, and it's like, dude, the only reason they keep it in a box was back in the 70s when everybody ripped them open, and the only the ones in the box were something that somebody's parents put in a closet and forgot to give to them. Everybody opened the boxes. Like now, nobody opens the boxes, and they're not gonna. There's a glut of them in the box, so don't worry about it. Just open them up, have fun with them, and collect and enjoy.
Remember Beanie Babies?
Whole other topic.
Yeah,
Beanie Babies. Yeah.
I like barely. I was like so into magic, and there was this one shop that had Beanie Babies, and it didn't register to me even then that this magic shop had, like this card shop had Beanie Babies. I just thought it was like,
it's like Pops.
Like, when you go to like a convenience store and they might have candles or something. Like I just thought it was like that. I didn't even realize at the time that Beanie Babies were like a collectible. I just thought it was like this side thing that just to make a quick buck.
But Bill,
and it turns out it was.
Bill,
at the time.
Princess Diana died, and they made a bear. And if you have that bear and you can keep the card good, one day, millions.
They are literally in boxes at every like garage sale, and it's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Watch that documentary on that.
Yeah,
it's
in
really
retrospect, I learned about it, but at the time that it was happening, like I was completely oblivious to that being a thing, really.
And no offense to pop collectors, but they're the pops. The pops are the Beanie Babies of well, not even today. I would have to say yesterday, but if you enjoy pops, love them. Put them on your shelf. Take them out of the box. Just take them out of the box.
I did see a pro here from Mecha a while back. It was with one that I was thinking too. Kind of a neat little idea is to challenge yourself. Like if you're a creative type person, challenge yourself to do a pop and swap with the two figures that you get.
I saw that. That's cool.
So
I like that.
Yeah, you get one of the new ones, you get one of the old ones, and just challenge yourself to try to create something out of the two. I think that could be kind of cool.
Yep.
I don't think you'll have them in time for the pop and swap contest, but if you do, give it a shot.
Okay, so moving into the cons. And I do think there are some valid cons, and most of it comes down to like, this isn't for me. But here's a con that I came up with, and it ties to the last one. So it'll create a robust trading environment. And And as a pro, it's going to be really fun to see what people pull, to see what people need, what they got, right? Need them, got them. And that's going to be a fun situation. But it could get a little nasty because like we were talking about earlier, there's going to be some people that are going to insist that the chase figures be all treated equally, that Hagnon that just got reproduced, that it should be the same value as that Bromden that there's maybe 5, 10 in this whole thing, and it's just not going to have that supply anymore. So like I think it could get a little heated in that situation. So that's a con there.
I think that's going to be a minor thing. I think there's a lot of people who are going to, there's a lot of people who are like, have been looking for things and are probably going to put stuff up eventually that like, listen, I'm a big vampire collector. If anybody gets a Vampire Knight, I'll trade whatever for it, good or bad. And I think there's going to be like, hey, I got a Hagnon. There'll be people who are like, yeah, I'll take the Hagnon. Don't worry. Just
right.
give me the Hagnon and I'll trade you the Vampire. Just because
both.
I got a Vampire already. I don't need it. Like you want it. There's a lot of good people like that. And then there will be the people who will inevitably, I think as much as a good job as they're going to do at to trying to like diversify this for people, at least in like single boxes, anybody who orders like separate, I would say do not order separate orders of these things. Like just don't. Because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to get 2 Hagnons. You're going to get 2 Faust.
And you're going to pay twice the shipping.
And you're going to pay twice the shipping. That's it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yep. That's a very good side effect of the way the shipping isn't stacking up when you order more. It's like it's like highly discouraging you to, at least if you're in the US, it's highly discouraging you from making separate orders. Like, just
and
figure it out.
Diego literally said, like, they will try not to put duplicates in one box.
A single box, yeah.
If you've ordered 5 of them, they're going to put them in one box. If you ordered 2 and then you ordered 3 more, there's a good chance they're not keeping track of what was in the other order of 2 that you ordered. They're going to put whatever's in there, and so you may get duplicates. So,
well, I did have Greg tell me he's giving me all Bryophytuses. So,
that's nice of him.
Yeah,
nice, nice.
He loves the green.
Has anybody painted the flocking?
Yes.
Have they?
Yeah.
Does it look good?
It actually doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't take paint horrorly. It's pretty decent.
Oh, interesting.
Speaking of Caulfield, Caulfield's gifted me a Fury Orc that he did that with Bryophytus, painted it all red with the flies.
Nice.
It looks fantastic.
Cool.
It looks really good. Thank you, John.
Okay, so robust trading environment can be a good thing and a bad thing. We'll see how it plays out. I think this is going to be one of those situations where if you're like not the nicest person in the cabal, if you're the type of person who posts inflammatory stuff and posts like, like you're constantly just kind of being a jerk about things, like don't be surprised when you when you see someone else put their Hagnon up and they get the trade for that Bromden they want, and you put your Hagnon up and nobody wants to offer you that trade. It's about relationships. Like especially when it comes to trusting someone in a trade, period. Like I can't get any trades. Maybe you don't know anyone and you haven't taken the time to like make some friends and like be a productive and fun member of the community. And I mean, you're just in there with the assumption that, I joined a Facebook group, I guess I should be getting deals and I should be getting like trades and stuff. Like it's not how it works. Anyway,
it's not even a matter of trust. It's a matter of like you've contributed something to something. You've commented on somebody's you're just a nice person. You're a good person, and somebody's like, hey, I want to help this guy out. He's looking for vampires. He's looking for whatever. Like, hook him up.
Yeah, are you somebody that's constantly putting into the cabal, or are you constantly somebody that's taking from the cabal? Right. So.
What is this comment? Toy shiz. Are you talking about Toy Whiz or Toy Shiz? Anyway. Okay. Some people would rather know what they are getting. This is like, you're like, this is not a product for you. Like if you're not interested in a surprise product, the surprise product is not for you, right? Like it's like, I don't know,
that's
like,
it. That's
but it is a con. It is going to. There are a lot of people out there who are like, I don't want to do it because they're kind of like, my only option is to get a surprise, so I don't want a surprise. And it, for them, it's a con. So I want to put that on the list because it is a con.
Yeah, I get it's a con because like a lot of people are saying like, oh, why don't you just put them out as like an all-star and we could just order what we want, and like that's not the point. I mean, that's not what they're doing.
Yeah,
and they don't owe you that. Like, I mean, it's not even a matter of like them being good or bad. This is just fun. It's just fun. You know what I mean? And the odds that like one of these reissues, especially, that you'll have a chance to get them via a trade, via a decent price on eBay or on the Cabal or whatever. Just somebody, again, if you're nice, if you're a good person, somebody just hooking you up and saying, yeah, man, I'll sell it to you for $35 or $37 or whatever, is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good that you can get something like that. So if you want something for the retail price, you're going to be able to probably get it somewhere along the line. So just don't be a dick.
Nevertheless, I do think that is, it's a valid thing where people, they don't like seeing a product that it's, it's a random thing. They just don't like seeing it. And I understand it.
Some people don't like gambling. Don't gamble. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There you go.
Yeah. Classic bundle dilemma. To gain access to the thing you want, here, one of the older figures, you have to buy something you don't want, one of the newer figures. It's a bundle situation. It's kind of like when they did the Equidrons, and to get access to the Equidron, you had to buy the pin or shirts or whatever. And I understand that as well. There's a lot of people out there that don't like bundles. And this is, I mean, on many levels, this is a bundle.
If you look at this,
your dessert, you have to eat your broccoli.
Right.
Right.
If
you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Yeah. Yeah. Patrick put that out. I mean,
Patrick Boyle. Yes, that's right.
And it was a great meme up until they released the other figures, the non-chase ones that are going to go with it. And I think most of that list is really good.
It's a solid list.
Yeah.
It's a good list. And the thing is, like, you compare this to the Empire Toys, and this is not a slam on that either, that it is a fun thing and you're paying a retail price and you're getting a retail price figure, period. Right? So that's good. But that's more of a, odds are you're going to get something that just got released and is probably something either if you're collecting you already have, and you're not going to get that chase figure. There's probably a lot fewer of those to go around. In this case, you're going to get something that is.
But the other difference on that, on the flip side of what you're saying, is there's usually like one home run figure, like one that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's that one that's like totally ridiculous.
But
like
it's only because there's one of them. Like
in this.
It's only because there's one of them. Like, there's no Otho, but Kador and Sir Godfrey are two figures that you can't even find for under $250, $300 a piece, right? As it stands right now. So, like, those kind of are home run figures, even though they're not like unique and like there's only one lying around in the back room. And there are some things that are in the back room that are there's only a few of them. Torgan Redfin, it's tough to get him for under $200 these days. So like you might get one of 10 of those that are out there. So there are home run figures that you can get. I just think you're going to get something decent, and you might get something that you're like, meh, whatever.
I gotta
trade, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny because it's like, again, I'm trying to avoid spending the whole time just like countering the cons, because then it just becomes a whole list of pros.
Sorry.
But there is like the kind of like benefit of, hey, I have this thing I don't need. Does anybody need it? And like there's a community aspect to that.
A good feeling. Yeah, you could give it to somebody and feel good about it. Like if somebody really wants it. Yeah.
It's also like, I guess it's not unappealing to the veteran collectors, but like it's less appealing to the veteran collectors who are just like, I want one of each figure, and like I don't customize or anything. Like I collect one of each, and like if you've been in it for a while and that's like your only thing, it's a product that's not appealing to you. Again, don't buy it, but it is a con.
Yep.
And then here's one that I think is important to spend some time thinking about. And that is that some people genuinely struggle with FOMO, with the fear of missing out. And I think those are the people that are most likely to feel let down by this. And because of that, I think those people need to plan ahead. Like, you need to plan ahead. If you're in the FOMO thing, and it might be a situation where like Four Horsemen have 1,000 on their site, and some people look at the cart numbers and they see it dwindling down, and that FOMO can like multiply in that situation, and people post that information in the cabal and the groups and stuff. Like the day of, don't change your plan. If this is something you don't want, don't like last minute be like, okay, I'm going to buy 5 because like I would say, like, if you're susceptible to FOMO and you've decided you don't want this thing, really go into it with a good, strong willpower and like, just don't buy it. Because if you get something you don't want, you're going to be really let down. Like I could see like, like there's like people in the cabal who are against it, and they're making posts like talking about how Four Horsemen are, they're scammers because they're doing mystery boxes, and they're, how could they, I thought they were above this, and like they're making those posts. Like those people, they're going to see the numbers dwindling, and they're going to be tempted to buy into it, and they're going to end up with something they don't want. They're going to end up with that Hagnon figure. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to post in the cabal. They're going to be like, see, I told, like, they're going to like be all pissed off about it, and it's going to ruin their day. Like, mm-hmm. I think that,
and they're going to post
the FOMO people. I do think that there is, even though it's not a big swing situation, there's no big swings. You're not going to hit $1,000 figure like you would, like, if you opened an old Magic card pack or something where you could get a pack full of 50-cent figures or cards, and then you could hit a dual land that's $500 or something. Like, mm-hmm. It's not going to be like that. You're going to hit $100 worth of figures, or you're going to hit $130 worth of, like, it's a very small swing in terms of like, if you're a gambler and you're like a gambling mentality.
Right.
So, but if you're susceptible to FOMO, go into it with a plan and know what you're going to do ahead of time, because that is a situation.
Right.
It is technically a kind of a little bit of a gamble.
So I do 2 cons in the chat that I think are worth bringing up. Oh snap! And I'm only bringing this up to snap because you posted it. You're not being negative, but I do like con short notice to save up money to buy product. My counter to that would be like, kind of, when is it not? Except that we know like Legion's con and maybe, well, I mean G-Con.
Well, I mean they've told us a billion times this year is going to be crazy. So
well, I mean, A, it's going to be crazy, right? Exactly. But B, it's always like, hey. Yeah. Figure Obscura this weekend. New, even if there's a new wave coming and it's teased a little bit, it's usually a 2-week thing. This is a week and a half, right? Is that well? I mean, they've been teasing it, but as soon as they told us, it's like a week. I mean, it's not a big, it's not a wave of $500. It's a $75 in if you want to try it. You know what I mean? And you don't have to try it. It's not like you're going to miss on any new. It's not new product. So you're not going to miss on any new figures or anything like that. It's just, it's short time. And the only other one I saw was, I do wonder why this is a sale on a Monday, which
it's an interesting,
I think there's enough of this to go around that they feel like this is going to last like a Figura Obscura into like a couple days, like last through Monday night, at least into Tuesday, maybe even Tuesday afternoon or beyond. I think there's enough of it that it's going to go on that they're not worried about, I'm at work, because it's all random, right? Like, you're not going to miss, I wasn't there to get such and such. It's just you're putting in. I'll buy 2 mystery boxes. You know what I mean? So you can do that Monday at 7:00. You can do that Monday at 9 a.m. You can do that 11 whenever it starts. Hopefully you can do that Tuesday morning or something like that or whatever.
I think it could be as simple as they have a timeline. They have a thing coming that's going to fill up their warehouse, and they need to get this next thing out. Like it could be just that simple, and like get it going at the start of the week. The work week is flowing and you're just getting stuff out the door. It's just that it could be as simple as logistics in terms of why it's a Monday.
Yeah, I do have 2 whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah,
go for it.
So the first one, I think was just kind of the build up to it was more than it was. I don't know if the squeeze was worth the juice. All right, like it was like this real big hyped week long people guessing and like some really cool guesses that you're like, oh man, if we got that, that'd be awesome. If we got that, that would be awesome. And then it's all figures that we've already seen before, which I mean, and I'm not trying to be negative here, but like when it comes to like the All-Stars votes, they've told us like the re-released figures are always the least ordered figures. That means there's less interest in older figures than there is in new stuff. So this had no new stuff, and yet you hyped us up for a week and then throw that. Now, I do think that there's some fun factor to this. I think there's a positive way to look at this, and there's all those pros that we went through. But I think for the amount of hype that they put into this, it didn't pay off as much as I was hoping that it would.
Normally, I would fully counter Curtis this, which I think should be a segment on our show, like Curtis and counter Curtis. But I think it's like anything like with Figura Obscura when they tease a little something and everybody's like, oh, it's gonna be pirates. Oh my god, it's gonna be 3 figures and then it's something that nobody thought of and nobody guessed, and then it should have been Barbarian Santa. I don't know why I wasn't, why is it a regular Santa? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you do it for 3 days, if you do it for 2 weeks, it's still going to be the same thing. I understand I understand you didn't like the build up and all the talk about it. I get it. I enjoy the guessing, and I got to guess because I didn't know up until the last day, but
I mean, it's one.
I don't think it matters how long you build it up. I mean, maybe it should have been a little shorter than that because of what it was. Yeah,
I don't think the build up matters if it pays off. I don't think that. I think this is something they could have. I think it's fun. They could have just done an announcement, say here's what we're doing. It's going to be next week. The build up for it just. And I get it. Somebody's got to wear their sales and marketing hat and throw stuff out there and. Get the cats to chase the lasers. I get it, but it didn't feel like it paid off to me. So that was one of them. And then the other one, and this is not one that I really care too much about, but I know some people have said when they do buy mystery boxes or whatever you want to call this thing, that they typically like to know the spread of how much of each thing is available so that you kind of know what your odds are of each particular thing. And I know that's something that the Horsemen aren't going to do because that's just not something they ever really do. But because of this format, that's something that I think makes people a little nervous that, well, the one that I want may only have, 5 figures and, these other ones have, 500. So,
right.
Yeah. But again, this is it's like, that's what it is though. I mean, it's like going to Vegas. It's exciting. It's exciting to pull the lever. I don't know what my odds are of hitting that. You know what I mean?
They have the odds.
They do.
No, not necessarily. You're sitting down and playing blackjack. You don't know what your odds are.
Yeah, but you might not be seeking those odds, but those odds are available. You could.
I mean, your odds of getting a certain hand, I guess, in poker, or your odds of getting a certain flip in blackjack, but it's wildly all over the place. You know what I mean?
The number of cards in a deck.
Yeah, and
no,
even like
no, not in blackjack.
Like
how many? There's multiple decks in blackjack. You don't.
But even the machines,
they'll tell you how many decks are in a shoe.
Okay, yeah. If you're a card counter, you can do it, I suppose. Yeah, I guess.
Right, but I'm just saying, they will tell that is a legal thing where they will tell you that in that situation.
Well, I mean, what on a slot machine will they tell you the odds of winning the jackpot are
Yeah,
you know,
pretty
1
sure
million
they
to
do,
1?
yeah.
Sure, but the odds of winning $2, I'm not sure they tell you.
They tell
like,
you what the
are the
total, what the payoff percent is. Yeah, so you know going in, like it'll say that. And
Well, it's not
you know,
Vegas.
like Big Dub says here, most mystery boxes will show you the spread. Like I'm not talking about Vegas right now. I'm talking about like the format that this is in is a mystery box. In most mystery boxes, they will show you the spread of the different amounts. That, you know, and I understand, like I said, Four Horsemen don't do that, and this is their first array into a mystery box situation. But that is something that gives people a little pause when it comes to this. So I'm not,
but it's a
not
gamble.
defending
It's
that con. I'm just throwing it out there.
It's literally like rolling the dice. I mean, yeah, if you buy 100 lottery tickets, your odds are better than you buying one lottery ticket. But like, you don't have to buy any lottery tickets. You know what I mean? And then you got $1. Like, I don't know.
But there's some people that
part
would
of the
say,
fun.
hey, I would love to buy a lottery ticket, but I at least want to know what the odds are. So,
yeah.
I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Rob Zamora, to answer this question, I have no I have no idea what the numbers are. All I know is that if they reissued some, they probably didn't reissue, you know,
2 cases
50 of them. You know what I mean? So
it's
there's probably a bunch. Whether that bunch means they're going to have it, and Jeremy said this, whether they're going to have any left over for shows in the future, including Legions Con at that point, who the hell knows? They're doing a lot of shows.
That
Maybe
all
they
depends.
will.
That all depends on how many sell in this thing too.
Correct.
Like if this thing is super hot, they might blow through the supply. If not, they might have leftovers for shows. Who knows?
Right.
And
they're probably not going to make the mistake twice in that they're doing this in order to like kind of bundle some of the stuff that they didn't get rid of. So now they're going to order all the stuff that they're reissuing and have that left over in like, you know, year and a half. So it's probably not going to be a lot of stuff, but you know, obviously the stuff they're reordering is going to be a lot more than the stuff they found in the warehouse. So
one thing
there's your odds. Your odds
there,
to getting one of those is much better than the warehouse finds.
Not to defeat my own con, but one thing I will throw out there is that when they showed the picture that had which ones they actually reproduced quantities of, I think that took some of that concern away because if let's say you were after a Sir Godfrey and you're like, man, they probably only have like 2 Sir Godfreys, and then they put out that list and they show that's one of the ones that they just recently reproduced. Right. Now it gives you hope. Okay, now there's probably more than some of these other figures. Now I'm going to play.
Jeremy said they have a lot of them. And I'm not saying like there's a lot of these to go around. I think is what the way he put it. Like there's a lot, which means there's probably a lot of those reissues. And I would say the odds in terms of the stuff that were warehouse finds, I mean, the ratio between the lowest one that they have like 2 of and the highest one that they have 4 cases of, I mean, it's not going to be in between that. It's not going to be much of a spread, you know, 48 as opposed to 1, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be a lot. So like, you know, you might not get a Torgan, but you might get something that's, you know, there's only 30 of, you know what I mean? But the odds are you're going to get one of the reissued ones. So, and
regardless, you're going to be better off than what you were. I mean, there's nothing that you're going to get that's going to make you lose money.
No.
So.
And I just want to bring up Joe's comment, and then I want to talk about the super chats because they kind of got lost when we were doing the interview. But how would you fairly sell the last partial case of a figure to the general public?
This is a good point.
Without pissing off the community. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
what if they brought them all to ToyCon New Jersey and put them on the table and like, oh, I'm in California, I can't get to ToyCon New Jersey. Oh, you put all the Torgan Red Fins up on the table in ToyCon New Jersey. That's not fair. Like, why didn't you put them up? You know, but if you put them up online and you put it in an in-stock sale and there's only 4 of them, somebody's going to get pissed off about that. I put it in my cart and it was gone. Like, there's no good way.
There's no
way
to make everybody happy.
Everyone has the same chance in this situation of pulling.
And Chuck says yes. Bring them to ToyCon.
Well, yeah, I'm with you, man, for sure.
But okay, so I want to do the super chat. So there were, you know, we had Rob's, which was just a few minutes ago, but then we missed a couple because we were doing the interview. This I feel bad because There was a question. I'm assuming this was Van, and there was a question.
Yeah, they actually sent it to me. They sent it to me separately to read to you.
Okay.
Both Van and Jordan are having some problems with frizzy hair. And they want to know what kind of conditioner you use, Bill, to keep your hair so silky and smooth. So
I could tell you. Hang on a second.
These are the important questions that we're answering in the toy.
I looked it up. They asked me this last time, and then I looked it up because I had ordered some extra on Amazon.
I used Dax Wax for my 1/6 figure.
Or was it Walmart? Hold on, I think I got it on Walmart. It's so after I wash my hair and stuff, I put in a leave-in conditioner. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck it's called. It's called Alpha Parf. Hold on. It's this.
The old Alpha Parf.
Because they paid for this question, I'm actually answering it sincerely. Here,
it's going to have an impact on Sunday's show or Saturday's show, I'm sure. Too.
Alpha Parf.
Sunday
show? Let me share.
I forget when they're at.
Saturday nights, like at
Saturday.
9, right?
Saturday show, yeah. I was right at the beginning.
This.
There it is.
There you go.
Alpha
purple.
Parf.
Is that purple?
The S is purple.
Son of a.
There it is. And then I feel bad because Blake had commented and then left. And he said, glad to see you all, but I can't stay for long. Unfortunately, I'm off to get an MRI. Boy. Oh, no. See you next time. And don't forget to smash that like button. Blake was sending me pictures.
Blake, I hope you're all right, man.
Is he in Oregon? He's up there.
Yeah, he's in Oregon,
the Pacific Northwest. And oh, man, he was showing me some hiking pictures. It was crazy. Yeah, I hope you're okay, Blake. If you're going to rewatch this, hope you're all right, man. And then Hedgehog, just here to fight back against the Hagnon slander. Hey, it's not Hagnon. Hagnon's awesome. It's just that it's like so unrare. It's like like we've all got a bunch of Hagnons now. It literally just got reissued. That's all. It's like the most recent figure I got in hand was Hagnon. Yeah. That's all. And I think
that's the biggest miss from this one. I gotta say, if I had to pick one miss from this, it would be Hagnon. Like,
yeah, they did it before they.
Not a lot of people who want Hagnon. I mean, as much as Ragna when they disliked, I still think there are people who want Ragna, but I don't know anybody who wants.
I think Ragna still has more value than Hagnon for sure.
When they added it to the production queue, they had not yet decided to do blue Hagnon.
True, that's what they said. Yep, that's true. Yep.
So that's the issue there.
Oh, Joe's got a good point there. Yeah. Joe's got a good point. People are going to want extra Hagnons when Necro hits. That zombie pack, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Could be really
cool. I mean, Hagnon looks cool when you paint them up. I mean, Jeremy did a really good paint job on one. And then we've talked about the people dyeing them. I mean, it
looks so
some cool things. Man. So
I want a rainbow of Hagnons.
Let's just remind everyone that we still need to draw the Etheron thing for the Etheron pin.
Oh, dude, Thump is
put in for that one.
Vieira,
my favorite.
This is
Thump
nice
is
pin.
Awesome, man. Thump is a great figure.
I like this pin a lot. It's a good one.
Yeah, if you don't have a Thump's awesome. I don't know that I need two of them, but I do like Thump.
He's actually one of my least favorite goblins. Even
really?
Though he is great. He is great, but like,
man, I'll take
Nubnik. I'll take Noglin. I'll take Snag. I'll take Thwick.
Well,
I think Thwick is like one of the best.
Thwick is cool.
Like, over Thump.
I just love his expression.
I think Gonks. I just love his armor and yeah, he's just a chunky boy.
He's great. He's very, like I said earlier, like it's a super striking, unique paint job.
The paint job is amazing.
All right, let's put this up here. and then we'll call it a night. So again, if you win, just a reminder, if we're connected on social media, shoot me a message if you know how to contact me on Facebook, Instagram. Those are the two places generally. Twitter as well. If not, podcast@DorkLair.com is the email to send me your address to, for me to send it out. I'll probably get these out tomorrow morning. Depending on where you are, you'll have them, maybe Saturday, even maybe Monday. All right. So
Joe says Gonks would be perfect for that head pack bog goblin head for sure.
Which is my only I don't have a bog goblin, so like I have like a makeshift bog goblin because of that. I love the fact that they put that in that pack.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's true.
I do still kind of want a bog goblin, like an original one. But it's nice. That
might be able to make that dream come true.
Yeah,
have to look.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Maybe. I think I gotta look.
I got trades. Probably have a Hagnon for you in a couple days.
No, I don't want that.
All right, let's give it another minute or two. I have this D13 chocolate thing like right below me, and I've had little whiffs of like chocolate scratch and sniff all day.
Does it make you hungry, or is it just like?
No, it doesn't make me hungry. It just makes me like, it's more nostalgic. It's just kind of like scratch and sniff chocolate.
Yeah. Did you have those markers in school that smelled like grape and licorice?
Those are the best.
Do you guys remember the NFL pencils?
I had so many like black marks on my nose from sniffing that licorice one. Like I just it was...
Did you guys have the NFL pencils in the vending machines?
Hell yes! We talked about this, didn't we? Talk about this before?
Did we? Yeah.
Oh my god, the machine with the NFL. Oh my god, it took me forever to get a Dallas Cowboy one, man.
And you go look back now, and it's like the Oilers. It's like all
and that was like a quarter
team.
a pencil or something like too. Like it was kind of crazy.
Right. That's I mean, pencils are still a lot less than a quarter a pencil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with the logos. Yep, exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Remember the Hot Cheetos markers? What?
Hot Cheetos markers?
No.
That I don't remember.
Nope.
Yeah, grape was the best. Yeah, grape was the best. For sure. Did like the licorice, though. There's something about the licorice that I thought was getting me high at the time.
They've got a big pack of those on Amazon that's got like a whole bunch of different scents. Those markers.
Called Mr. Sketchy?
Maybe.
Was that what they're called? That's a great name, Mr. Sketchy.
Sketchy? I think Mr. Sketchy was the guy I met on the corner that was like trying to...
Because we were talking about it on one of our episodes of Offworld, and we looked it up, and they've got like a pack out there on Amazon.
I forget what the brand was, but they smelled good.
Grape Gang Gang.
There you go.
Yeah, Mr. Sketch scented markers.
Really?
Yep.
Good callback. I don't remember that at all. Mr. Sketch, not Mr. Sketchy.
It just says Mr. Sketch on here. Man, they got like...
Okay.
Back in my day,
Mr. Sketchy.
We would put a quarter in a machine, and
he was
didn't know
sketchier
which
back
pencil
then.
we were going to get. So be happy with your Mythic Legions mystery box.
It's got 22 different scented markers.
Yeah, I spent a hard-earned quarter every day to get.
I had no clue. I got my third Chiefs.
I know, right? It's
pencil,
constantly getting the damn Oilers or something. And nobody wanted the Oilers. There was no trading the Oilers. The Oilers were the Hagnon of their time.
The baseball helmet ice cream. So I went to the Sox game.
Oh, I remember those.
On Monday. So every year on Marathon Monday, the Red Sox have an 11 a.m. game. I think it might be the only morning game in baseball. And they do, it's like a tradition. Every Marathon Monday, they have a game. I used to go every year, and it's been like 10 plus years since I went. and we went this time. And my daughter, every time we go to a Sox game, my daughter gets the helmet with the ice cream in it. Which is funny because the helmet has stitching like a base. My daughter pointed this out. She's like, "Why do they call it a helmet?" And I was like, "Because it's a helmet. It's a, it's like a batting helmet." And she's like, "No, look at it." And it had stitching like a baseball cap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
So it's
they used to do the helmets.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, this was before Warren Moon's time to collector. So
yeah, I liked all the little baseball helmets and football helmets you got from the vending machine.
Oh man,
the plastic bubble.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the perfect metaphor. The vending machine. You put your quarter in, you spin that dial, and again, I got the Chiefs or the Oilers or something. I'm like, you couldn't shake that thing. That's where I got all my little muscle guys too, man. That was great.
My pizza place in town
Tattoos.
still has like the sticker one where you put like the 3/4 in, you like slide you slide a thing forward and then out, and you get the sticker.
3/4, damn, it's pricey.
All right, let's do this. Okay, everybody. Hashtag Etheron. Got 97 entries. Nice. That's rare to get up that high, at least on this show. But 97, nice. So the Etheron pin is going to go to whoever wins this. Again, email me at podcast@dorklair.com or just message me on social media. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Who's it going to be?
You're kind of gambling here, right? Like you don't know. Everybody can't possibly win.
Are the odds 1 in 97?
Travis Wilcox.
1 in 97.
Nice.
At least you know the odds. At least you know the odds, right? Going on. So there you go.
Travis Wilcox, congratulations, buddy. Yeah, just message me and I'll get that out tomorrow. Sweet. Yeah, hit that like button. We should have a question as well. And let me pull this banner down before we confuse anyone. We need a question here.
How about which figure would you most like to get and least like to get out of this wave?
Okay, yeah. What's your big hit? What's your worst hit?
Big
miss, hit,
yeah.
Worst hit. But don't put that in the chat. Put that in the comment section after we're done with the video. Once we end the video and it's the replay, in the comment section of the replay video, share your big want hit and your least wanted figure where you'll be like, damn it, I got that one. All right. Let me know. And yeah. Curtis, Trevor, thanks for coming on. Curtis, what do you have going on this weekend for shows, for
I got stuff every day. I got stuff every day. I'll just go with the most recent. It's tomorrow night on Offworld. We're actually going to be talking more mystery box. We're going to have, myself and Joe on there.
I think it's enough, Curtis. I think there's been enough talk about mystery boxes that I think you should.
We're going to have Billy Beige on there.
Your plan.
Big Drag and Rygon. So yeah,
nice.
it'll be fun.
Oh, Big Greg. So you can bribe Big Greg maybe for
he already said if any mystery box I order, I'm getting double Bryophytus.
Bryophytus,
yeah.
That's right. And Trevor, we got a lounge coming up, right?
We got a lounge coming up Monday. We got the Mythic Enablers. We got all the Mythical Enablers coming.
Nice.
So we got everybody going to be on the show.
That's not easy. Yeah. We're trying to schedule them, and it's like, man,
it's hard, man.
Eric, it is difficult to get all of them.
Eric pulled some strings.
When you said you were going to invite them on, I was like, there's not a chance that every single one is going to be able to make it.
Michael Xavier, I think, is calling into work. So
wow.
So we owe him something. I don't know. Maybe we have to pay him. I'm not really sure. Like jury duty.
Work
I'm not
pay.
really
It's
sure.
like jury duty.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
that's
they
going to
asked
be
him
fun.
to postpone the interview until he has vacation.
That's right. That's right. And hey, you know what we'll be talking about? Probably some mystery boxes. So, it'll probably come up, but among other things.
Well,
but, yeah.
that'll be like, we'll be sitting there enabling everybody, right? Like that's going to be
exactly.
Assuming it doesn't sell out by then, right?
Maybe we'll do some if it
doesn't
doesn't sell out, I may hold off. Like I'm going to watch it throughout the day. Maybe I'll buy a few while we're on. I don't know how exciting that is, but like maybe I'll buy a few while we're on.
Pull up the
watch Trevor hit a button.
Exactly. Get his address. Read his credit card numbers.
All right, one last look through the chat. Thanks everybody for joining, supporting. Thank you for all the super chats and all the support. I know that I have really fallen off the map in terms of recorded videos, and I'm in the middle of my vacation. It's just still been kind of busy. So
you had murder to deal with, Bill. I mean, attempted murder.
It's true.
Anyway,
yeah,
so, you know.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty close to a murder. But yeah, so I'll hopefully be getting some reviews going. I still have Zendy. It's been on there for like a month, just sitting there waiting for me to review him. And I want to do a video with the Chocolate Angel.
Yeah.
And still got to work on with Zendy. I still got to continue working on that whole Poxus wave. So got a few more on that. But yeah. Snap says fun chat. Good night. Thank you everybody. And until next time, may the force be with you. Follow me.